I'm live? Oh my god. Hello everyone, this is Mikey Suits 4. As you can see, I'm also known as the Crazy Canadian. This is just mostly a quick stream until Pop does his stream later on YouTube, Lost in Space. I'm just here today. I'm sorry, I have to have the fan going, so please, I apologize in advance. Uh, I just, but I'm sure you guys can still hear me. And I got this made sure I turned my cam off because really there isn't much to see of me today. So we're doing this stream today because, well, for two reasons I wanted to do the stream. First of all, I just realized that there's some important news about our friend and cohort in crime and our partner, pop culture curator, who was one of the first to help me out and get me addicted to streams like this. And our buddy is in the hospital right now, getting some good care, I hope. And sooner or later, he's going to want to go ahead and move out of California, go over down to Arizona to join our friends Jedi Bill 797 and Nina Green. So I hope he gets to do that. It's most important. Uh, you guys already know where the chat, or should I say the his stream? Well, I'm sorry, his link. So we can always we can always repost it once I get it again from either Gorillas or and put it in the chat there. You guys will be ready to if anyone comes in and they haven't donated yet to Pop or offer their prayers, love and support. Let us know. We've got at least 7 prayer groups that I'm aware of that are praying for Pop to get better and hopefully get him, be able to move to Tucson and have a better life, be able to go back to his full time streams, which we all miss. But we're glad that he's appearing, at least while he's in the hospital right now, back and forth. He just amazes me. He really does. He's a great person. Excuse me. So today we'll just pretty much talk about anything that's going on currently. As most of you are well aware, about 18 days, unless they change the date again, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, the fifth and final installment. Hey, Lemon Pie! Yo! Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I did forget to put in the StreamYard if somebody wanted to come in. I'm so in. I don't know what I'm. I have problems. Okay, let's see. There we go. There's the StreamYard. Somebody wants to come in and we'll discuss. We'll talk about anything you want. All I mentioned was about the Indiana Jones, the fifth installment. I'm looking forward to it. I've heard a lot of discussions previous on it about uh, people aren't happy with the finished product. Oh, thank you. Lemon Pie, you're a saint. Thank you so much. So follow Lemon Pie up there. He's got the link posted for Pop's continuous donations. Oh, hey, Rex Verse. Welcome to the stream. Yes, we're all praying for Pop. Right now he's in the hospital, but as soon as he's able to move, he's going to go. Yes, I hope so too. As soon as he's able to move, we're going to try to get him to Tucson, Arizona, where Chad Bell 797 and Nina are waiting for him. well, they're going to come up and get them, and then they're going to take them back. So we want to do a continuous donation if we can to help him out. He has been helped with his rent, so he's at least caught up with that, and he will be able to have a place to live if he does get out of the hospital before the end of the month with his 3 dogs. But he needs help with that. Thank you, Lemon Pie. Again, you're so awesome. I can't stay, but have a good stream. Thank you, sir. Don't forget that Lemon Pies, again, as I said, he's got the awesome link right up there to help pop out. So anything you can afford at all, from a penny to anything, it would be much appreciated. But of course, prayers and love and support help too. There we go. Thank you, Lemon Pie. I appreciate it, Rexverse. You're an awesome guy. And yes, I hope he's better soon. Okay, here's the link. There is the link to, or the URL to help Pop Culture Curator out. Like I said, it's a continuous and continual donation site there to help him out, so he can get enough money and get a moving van, and then move on down to Arizona. That's ironic. I lived in Arizona for over 40 years of my life, which is quite insane. All right, here's my buddy
Hi,
in
what's up?
time, Mr. Daniel. How you doing, sir?
I'm all right today. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I've got Lemon Pie's donation site up there for us, so I'm sure everybody has seen it, but it's on my X there, or should I say my star. So, Daniel,
Hmm.
this really is an open discussion today, again, I apologize if you hear some cooling air in the background. It's our AC. I can't help it. I have to have it run. Um, it's just because of conditions outside we got, and
Hmm.
other things. So I hope you don't mind. I mean, I hope it's not too loud for you or anything.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, cool. How's Coco doing?
Oh, he's with my mom in the other room.
Ah, probably a good place for him. He's probably
Hmm.
relaxing. Yeah, both my cats, Deja Vu and yep, Moon Pie, are both laying in their respective beds, and my wife is pleasantly napping, so we'll be okay. Um, she's had a hard day today. She went out in the rain. I didn't want her to go, but we had to get some beverages, and so she went out, and then she's resting. So I told her that's fine. Yeah, we're gonna do laundry tomorrow. We were supposed to do it today, and I said, well, you know what, honey, you've been out. You were out there in the rain and stuff. So I said, no, just go ahead and relax. Babe. We'll take care of laundry tomorrow. We have plenty of clothing anyway. But yeah, Lemon Pie, thanks for coming by, posting that for us. And Rex first, you can stay too if you want, or come in if you want. That's up to you. So Daniel, um, I guess the main thing now is Indiana Jones 5. What do you think?
Hmm.
We got 18 days left. What's your take on it so far?
Yeah, I'll watch it. I'm excited.
Yeah, do you want to go to opening day? Is that
Yeah,
the
I don't know if I
plan?
can go on opening day, but
Uh-huh.
I'll check it out whenever I can.
Sure. Yeah, Friday. Yeah, I believe that is a Friday. Am I right? Yeah, June 30th is a Friday. So yeah, Friday afternoon. Usually, what we do, Suzanne and I, for premieres, is we actually go to lunch first. We do brunch at a place called the Mandarin. It's really nice Japanese
Oh, I
and
love the
Chinese.
Mandarin. I love the Mandarin. I used to go there ever since I was a kid. I loved it so much. I love it so much.
It is. It's awesome. It has great food, and we have a place that's actually it's up here in Scarborough. It's off of Eglinton, they call it Avenue, or yeah, Eglinton Avenue, and near a cross street called Birchmount Road, and it's really cool. I mean, it's got great food and the service is awesome. And we got a viewer. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Yeah, so we really enjoy it there. So you've been there too? You've been to the Mandarin?
Oh, I love it. So good.
Oh yeah, yeah. And always get good service, right? I mean, they treat you
Hmm.
well, everything. Hey, yeah. I don't know if Lemon was still staying. I know he said he couldn't stay, but he has. But have a great stream. But thank you for saying hello to him, sir. Rex First is here. He's a brand new person to our streams. Rex First Entertainment Incorporated. Um, Rex First. I hope that Daniel and I can check out your site there at on YouTube. We will. We'll plan on it. We'll try in our own ways to get there and see you. See what your channel's about. Because we always like to find out about new channels and new representatives. I think that's a good lighting for you, Daniel.
Hmm.
I noticed your lighting was kind of going and I got mine as like here. I'll show you mine real quick. There I am. Oh, by the way, some of you were asking me about this T-shirt I'm wearing. The T-shirt says, "I survived Nightmare's Fear Factory," which is located in Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. It's a very scary place. It's actually built on the an old site which used to have a coffin factory, and the landowner who owned the coffin factory supposedly died by some mischief by some ruffians, was according to the legend. And then when they looked for his body, because they found out who it was that caused his death, it was an accidental thing. There was like a whole bunch of coffins fell on top of him because these kids were playing around in this factory and weren't supervised. When they found out who it was, they went back to his coffin, found out the body's not there. So the legend says that his spirit or essence or body or whatever is still haunting the old factory, which is where this animation or this fun factory is at. This horror factory there in Niagara Falls. So, and hello, Trusty Egg, my other Daniel brother here on the stream. How you doing? Yeah, we're doing good, buddy. We're having a nice little open session here. Talk about just about anything if you want. But we are also doing this for Pop. He's a pop culture curator. He's a wonderful friend of ours, and we've got posted up there by Lemon Pie, who was so very nice to post that. He put up the site where you can go and donate to him if you wish. It's my day off, so it's a good day. Well, that's good. That's good, Daniel, because I get a day off every since I retired, went into retirement, so it's a beautiful thing.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, so well, Daniel and I have both agreed we're going to go see it. We're going to go see Indiana Jones 5, and hope well. Daniel may not. You said you may not go opening day, but you might go a little bit later after it all dies down or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, that's what
are
I.
you gonna go see the Flash movie? It's coming out on the 6th.
July, right? July 6th.
Yeah. No, wait.
Yeah,
June.
I've seen the trailer. You know what? I told Suzanne I wanted to see it because Michael Keaton's coming back as Batman.
Hmm.
Not so much for Ben because Ben Affleck does like a brief appearance in it, but I want to see Michael Keaton again. I want to see how well he does Batman again because he was one of my favorite Batmans, bar none. I mean, he set the bar really high, and there's only been a few that have been able to pull it off since then. And I don't even include Adam West because his was TV and it was campy and whatever. That's a campy
Yeah.
Batman. But in our case, it's just like yeah, Trustee, if you want to come in, hop in. I'd be more than happy to have you. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, because of Batman, because of Mike Keaton. You know what? I don't have any hatred at all for Ezra Miller. I think he was a great Flash. What do you think, Daniel? I mean,
Yeah. I don't really have anything against him. Although at the beginning, I thought that he was a really poor pick for the Flash.
yeah, but I think that he's been able to hold his own. He did appear right in Justice League when he came in there, right? Justice League, yeah. And I thought he did I think he did a fine job in that. But but I think that. Oh, there you go. You're more lit up that time. Now you can see more of your face. Mine's could just kind of like. I've got the big light back here, and then I got this one side. I got a side one. Let's see. Let's see if I can get myself in here a little bit. There we go. A little bit more light up.
I don't know. My first Batman movie was Batman and Robin back in 1997. I got it for my 10th birthday. I love Batman and Robin. That was my first Batman movie I ever bought.
Oh wow, that's really cool.
I remember I was at Zellers. You remember Zellers, right?
Yeah, you told me about Zelda.
I went to Zellers and I was at the restaurant. I was eating and I saw my mom pull up with a cart and I saw a bag in the cart and I saw a black box in it and I tried to get to the black box, but she kept me away from it until I kind of forced my way there. And oh, there you go! I found it was Batman and Robin on VHS. I was so happy.
That's so cool.
It was a good movie. I know a lot of people complain about that movie, like, oh, but I know it was based on the Silver Age of the comics.
Yes.
The more goofier comics. Because the Silver Age was a response to like a lot of people were complaining, right? A lot of people were complaining back in the day that the comics were too violent, and they didn't like it, so they created the Silver Age, which had to be more family friendly. They couldn't show, for example, divorce. They couldn't show it in a humorous light. They couldn't make fun of it, or they couldn't show too much gratuitous violence. They had to be really, really family friendly. So that was the Silver Age of DC.
Yes, it was. And well, the thing about Batman and Robin, to be fair, I probably would have. There's Captain Fandom Nerd also. Hello, Captain. How are you?
Doing good. How are you?
Hi, Captain Fandom Nerd.
Hey, Daniel. What's going on?
Oh, we're doing awesome, sir.
Yeah.
We're just doing an open panel thing today. Just a quick little stream, and hoping for Pop to do better and stuff. So,
Absolutely.
oh my gosh, my brother from Louisiana. What's up, Jay?
Hey.
Hey.
Hi, Jay.
How you doing, brother?
As my message on the bottom of my name, I'm full as a tick.
I know. Mine says the crazy Canadian, and Daniel is a hot topic. I think you should put that as his thing below.
Let me explain.
I think that'd be cool.
Let me explain. I went to breakfast at Huddle House, and then 2 hours later, I was hungry again and ate at a Mexican restaurant. And I ate and I ate. I hadn't ate that much in a long time, and so I'm full of the
Yeah, Daniel and I, we were just talking about the Mandarin, which is an awesome Asian buffet place. And Daniel went there a lot, and my wife and I always go at least once a month at the end of the month when we get paid. And we have a nice little brunch there each time. And their service is awesome. Their waiters and waitresses are very friendly. In fact, they always give us our favorite little table that we sit at.
Yeah.
They accommodate our walkers, which is really nice because there's not quite a lot of room. Well, I mean, it's a big, long, dining room, but You know,
Right.
I know I could understand if they wanted to fold them up and put them somewhere. I'd be more than happy and say, hey, yeah, I don't want to get in the way of people, but they're
Right.
so nice to allow us to keep them there. And yeah, it's a great place. So if it ever comes down to the United States, maybe it does, but I'm not sure where the locations are. You should definitely check it out because it's a nice place.
Wish we had one.
I wish you did. That's what I said. I don't know if they're down there in the States. I think they're only in
I don't
Canada.
know.
I think,
We
yeah,
don't
they're
have
only
one
in
here in
Canada.
Pasco.
Yeah. Okay. Daniel just confirmed that. Yeah.
I remember the last time. I don't know. Okay, now they have Mandarin takeout. Ever since the pandemic hit, they have Mandarin takeout
Yes.
because they didn't let people go into the buffet when there was the pandemic. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I heard.
Right.
So
Well, I think that's a legit reason why they put it on hold. That's what I hear from the restaurant we go to. It's because of the pandemic, and they were afraid that some of the drivers, even though they're wearing masks and everything, I mean, masks are not 100% guaranteed. So, they might contract something or bring something back to the restaurant. That was the original, or that was the answer I was given from the manager himself that runs the restaurant we go to over there in Scarborough. So that was his take on it.
Right.
Our
And
pizza joint. Our
Yeah,
pizza
and
joint
I'm not sure.
during the pandemic, they stopped the buffet, and after the pandemic, they didn't bring back the buffet because they found out people were buying more pizzas than ever coming to the buffet, so they stopped the buffet.
Wow. You know what? I think that was probably. Uh, there's a friend's channel I watch over in Vegas, and during the pandemic in Las Vegas, a lot of their, uh, places. There you are, Trustee Abe. A lot of their places down there in Vegas. Welcome yourself to the panel, Trustee. You got Trustee Daniel, you got Daniel Topic, you got Captain Nerd, and our buddy Jay in Louisiana.
Yep.
All my brothers here, all my friends. That is
Hey.
awesome. Aye. Alrighty. Well, let's go through this real quick so we know we're caught up. We got Yo from Lemon Pie. He was in briefly. That's the StreamYard link in case anybody else comes in today. Lemon Pie, there's the link to help pop out. It's also starred by me in the chat. So if anybody wants to go there, help him out, that'd be great. We have our other new friend, Rex Verse Entertainment. He says, I'm sorry about Pops. He also said, I hope Pop will be better soon. I hope so too. Lemon said he couldn't stay, but have a great stream. Thank you, Lemon. You're awesome. And then Daniel said hello. And then Trusty, my brother Daniel, said hello to me. And then hello, Daniel. Howdy, Lemon Pie. It's my day off, so it's a good day. Yeah, and I told him because I'm retired, every day for me is a good day.
Yeah.
Which is true. I can hop in for a few. That's awesome. And I'm glad you're here, sir. And of course, Captain Phantom Nerd says hello. And then I said hello to Captain and Trustee String Link right there at the top. All right, we are caught up, gentlemen. So, right now, the only thing we were talking about, Jay, Captain and Trustee, we were just talking about Indiana Jones 5 because we know it's coming in about 18 more days. I'm just curious what you guys are going to do on that day when it comes on the 30th. You're going to go see it premiere day, or maybe just wait till the all the commotion and everything dies down. What are you guys going to do?
Oh, me, I'll probably wait on it. I don't remember seeing the last one. If I did, I might have been drunk or something. So, yeah, catch up.
Yeah, I wouldn't fault you because it's about aliens and, well, it didn't do well. A lot of people just think it doesn't exist, but unfortunately it does. Unfortunately it does. I own it.
I don't get that. It was a good movie. I remember seeing the commercials. I was really, really hyped for it. I loved it. And
Hey. Hi, LDG. Yes.
Yeah,
Go
sure.
ahead, Daniel.
Sure, it had aliens in it, but so what? I mean, it's a universe, right? It can't just be like mystical stuff. A universe has a lot of things in it, right?
Oh, of course. Well, the one thing I was happy about is, after they did 2 films that dealt with the Nazis, I was like, okay, the only other opponent, so to speak, that Indy hasn't dealt with was Russians. So in a way, I got my dream choice. I said, oh, great, Russians, here we go. And they were invading Area 51 first. Even better, I said, oh, well, that's 2 things I can, take off a bucket list of a movie, involving Indiana Jones. Lots of fun on that one. And of course the little what was it, the prairie dog? Oh my god! I mean, if each of you has already seen the film, it's so funny with how they do the shots of the prairie dog, and I know they had to fake some of it because you can't get that close to them without jumping right underneath, going back under the ground. And we are talking about Nevada desert, so supposedly. And I thought that was cool. They had the Atomic Cafe was out there too, which is supposed to be the crossroads. That's all right, Jay. Don't worry about it. Yeah, which would have been the crossroads to head to Area 51 from the road that you take to go to Rachel, Nevada, which is it's its own kind of 2-lane road. That's all it is. One way going, one way back. So, Captain, did you were you planning to see it yourself the day of premiere, or were you going to wait?
Not really sure if I'm going to see it or not. If I do, it'll be streaming.
Yeah. Daniel, I think Daniel, did you say that you were Hot Topic? Did you say you were going to maybe see it or just wait?
No, I'm going to try to see it. I'm going to try to see it whenever I can. Yeah, this one's going to have time travel. I hear this one's going to have time travel in it.
Yeah.
That's fun.
That'd be a pretty interesting plot twist.
Is dealing with somebody else, because according to what I've seen in the trailers, that the actor Mads Mikkelsen playing, he's supposed to be a German. So I'm not sure. Oh yes, LDG. Yes, I said hello. I hope I did. Yeah. So now, Jay, what about yourself? Are you thinking of doing opening day or maybe waiting on it?
I'm not gonna see it.
You're not going to see it at all?
No. It's
Okay.
not my genre.
Okay.
Yeah, interesting.
Oh no, man, that's your prerogative.
I've
Totally cool.
never really liked Indiana Jones. Now, like I said, I saw the first one with your recommendation and the professors, and I
Yes.
gave it a 3 out of 5.
A 3 out of
And
5.
then I saw the Last Crusade, and I
Yes.
gave it a 4.
Right, because it was
Because
so
of
good with
John Connery.
Connery and everything. Yeah.
But I saw the second one just the other day. I can't even give it a 1.
Are we talking about the Temple of Doom?
The second one, whatever it was, I can't.
Yeah, that
remember
was the
the-
prequel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love
Temple
Temple
of
of Doom.
I know some of us did, but I guess it's I because it's all different and because in a way and dark. I guess maybe that's what it is. Some people just thought it was too dark for him, for Indy to go into something like that. But I know
Yeah, this
some
would
of
be
us
good.
liked it, and some of us didn't think too much of it, which is totally fine.
This will be the 6th indie film, wouldn't it?
Well, no, technically this is going to be the 5th, but if you did include Young Indiana Jones Adventures, which was that series that was on TV some years back, I would officially think it'd be like the 6th. But they're all saying
Yeah, and
it's the 5th.
I think there was a made-for-TV movie of that series as well, kind of, which we might count, but
Yeah, that was the jewel. Well, it was they went. It was World War I, and some guy died, but he had a treasure map or something. That
Right.
the July or the July something like that. Yeah,
Well,
that was a made for TV movie.
wasn't the indie movie with Shia LaBeouf the fourth one?
Yeah, the fourth one was Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. That had aliens and Russians.
Oh, okay.
It's all coming back to me now. Yeah.
And it's all coming back. Yeah, yeah, very, very convoluted plot. And I've always said, I don't know if this is true, but I've always said that Shia LaBeouf and movies don't mix. I mean, he was in the Transformers stuff, movies there, I believe, and they didn't do well when he was acting in those.
The first one was good, but
Yeah,
I wish they would make a Transformers movie with just Transformers because humans just don't do good in Transformers.
yeah. There was besides Shia, there was one other, Josh Duhamel. You guys remember him, Josh Duhamel? He was
Yeah.
supposedly like the leader of like the military and everything, or he was the one that first discovered him.
Yeah, he was in the first one, I think.
Right, and I'm surprised I even remembered his name. Uh, yeah, I agree with you, Jay. I
No.
think that the movies should have been more about the Transformers, less about humans. Hey, Resolute
Now,
Germ.
It was really the way the series was. I mean, they never really focused too much on humans, other than just the people that were being saved by the So it's like,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
now the new Transformer, they're going to have a human in an exosuit like they did in
Yeah, so,
Transformers the movie. So
anyway,
maybe this human will transform in an exosuit.
maybe
Yeah.
one that had the Beast in it, right? This new one.
Yeah, the Maximals and the well, they're not called the Predacons, they're called something else. Paracons or something.
Right.
I started watching this. I started watching this movie the other night. I haven't finished it yet. It's a couple years old. It's called Pacific Rim. You guys recall that one?
Oh yeah, I
Kind of
saw
similar
that.
thing going on there.
Yeah, and there was a sequel to it also.
Oh, was there?
Yes, there was,
Okay.
but it didn't do well. I think the Pacific Rim sequel actually went to video straight, or DVD in this case, because I remember the first one that you're talking about being in theaters, and I never went to see it. I don't know. I'm not sure what my reasons were at the time, but well, I think I might own it. I don't know. I haven't even looked in my library lately, so I'm not sure. But I do know they had a sequel. Yeah,
Friend of
yeah,
mine
that's
offered to show it to me in her apartment, and we watched it, and I didn't like it.
yeah. Resolute said transforming in an exosuit would be a little squishy.
I don't know. Daniel's son, not Daniel's son, Spike's son Daniel transformed in his
Yeah.
exosuit into a vehicle.
Oh, he did. Oh, okay.
Yeah, in the animated Transformers the movie in 1986.
Yeah, Resolute Germ. Thank you for confirming that. I didn't even realize it had a full theater release. The second one. Huh.
I think it did.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I know they're out there. I know they're both
I
out
didn't
there as
see
far
the
as
second one.
DVDs go. Yeah, but I never saw either one really. Well, no, I'm not. Actually, I'm kind of lying about that. The first one, I think someone had on. Yeah, it had it on not Netflix. We have a friend of ours, Scotty, that lives here, and he can get these movies, and I think we'd seen parts of it, and it didn't impress me. And then I found out there was the second one came out in the theater. I said, well, if the first one didn't impress me after the first 10 minutes, I'm not going to go see either one. So, or buy either one. So pretty much ended up that way. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's great. I thank you for confirming that and clearing that up, Resolute Germ. So let's see. Now, all of you have. I'm assuming all of you have talked to pop culture. You know the situation. You know what's happening with our friend. Uh,
Oh, no.
well,
Yeah.
yeah, he's in the hospital right now. I know that. He's waiting for the results of his MRIs and things and so forth. We know that one of his lungs has a you know has that growth or whatever, which is going steadily into his body, and then he's got that cyst, which is up in his brain.
Oh,
So he's not doing well right now. But he still is a fighter, which I really appreciate. And he's doing his best to get the necessary funds he can. He's good because everybody here I know has in some way or other contributed to help him, and I really appreciate that. Like I said, whether it's funds or prayers, love, support, your prayer groups, Jay, my parents, prayer group for the Carmelites, they're praying for him as well.
yeah, I've got him on a prayer list on 5 churches here.
That's fantastic. That's awesome, and you guys are awesome too, Daniel and my trusty ape Daniel and Captain. You're all very good about giving Pop help out as best you can, and I really appreciate it. You know, I love telling people this, and it's true. Pop was one of the very first people to accept me as as an equal, and said, "Look, you can do streams just as well as anybody else. You just have to find your way and your niche." And I said, "Well, I'll do the best I can. I can't, guarantee how they're going to turn out, but yeah, he was there for me." And you guys, all of you guys here, my brothers, I consider you my brothers, my extended family, because you guys care. And that's all I need. I just need people that care, and you all to care above and beyond. So, to all of you, I say thank you so much. You guys are awesome. All of you are awesome.
Well, I'll tell you this, my Sunday school class down in the lobby of my apartment building, they are extreme prayer warriors. And I told them about pop culture.
Yes.
So
Okay.
that's 6 right there.
Ah. And yep, Resolute just quickly said Atlantic Rim is the cheap straight to DVD release, completely unrelated to Pacific Rim. That was the one I was trying to remember. Thank you, Resolute Germ. Yes, Atlantic Rim. That was the other one. Dusty, are you still with us? I seem to have lost your avatar there for a minute.
Oh no, is it? Is it getting funny on me?
Yeah, it's your white avatar. I don't see your previous trusty ape avatar you had on it.
Yeah, I had an
It just went
incoming
to white.
call I had to reject, and then it messed things up or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
I hope it was an important call. I didn't want to keep you from that. Oh, there you go.
I don't know. I didn't recognize the number, so I figured if it was important, they'd leave me a voicemail.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what do you guys got going on? Is there any other earth-shattering things happening we can discuss or talk about, or anything happening?
Oh, nothing very important. I was thinking about doing a stream this evening as well, but I figured I'd come on and see it. Saw you were live, so I just,
Yeah. No, that's great. I'm glad you came. All of you. I'm very glad you came. No, this was just a quick stream. I just wanted to come on here and yeah, I still have time, so we can talk about a few things more. But it was also to help Pop out. I told him, you never know. I might surprise you, Pop, with the stream, and hopefully he's watching from his hospital bed. Yeah.
I think I saw Pop over in my side chat a day or two ago. So.
Oh,
yeah.
Cool. Yeah, he's also he's supposed to do a Lost in Space again tonight, One of our dogs is missing. That's the name of the episode. I had to rewatch it. There's this guy named Irving Zoo that does a review of the different episodes, and he plays a lot of it. So I just went over there and watched it, and I said, okay, I think I understand now what the episode's about. His streams are extremely crazy. We get a lot of laughs out. Also, Jay, I noticed there was no AQOT this the past or yesterday on Sunday. Was there
Yeah,
just
he Naomi had to work early,
oh,
get
that's
up
what it was.
early the next day, so
Oh,
she
Yeah.
couldn't do it.
yeah, okay. Thank you for explaining that to me, sir. I wasn't even aware. Well, I mean, I was aware because I was waiting to see if the stream was gonna pop up, and then I saw nothing, and I was like, oh, geez, maybe he had to work or something happened. So,
Yeah,
well,
he
thank
had
you
to go
for
in.
clarifying
She
that.
had to go in early the next day for work. She
Yeah.
works for like an Uber thing, like a oh, what are those things called? It's like a delivery thing for restaurants
okay.
or whatever.
Okay, so he does like he's all right, sorry.
Not like a Good Eats
Naomi.
or Food Hub or
Yeah,
something.
Naomi is a part of a delivery service. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's great.
Yeah.
Hey, my Daniel hot topic. Anything going on for you lately? Anything happen?
No, nothing really.
Yeah. Daniel and I were also talking about before you gentlemen came in. We were talking about the Flash. We just found out it was moved up to July 6th as a release date. So basically, like a week after, right? A week after Indy 5. So I don't know. Are you guys gonna go see the Flash? Maybe.
Yeah, I saw like. Do you want to know what I saw, or do you don't want any spoilers?
Well,
No,
Maybe
let's
not.
do spoilers because I want
yeah,
to go
no
see it.
spoilers. I get that
When
all
does
the
it
time.
come out?
Well,
June 16.
June 16th.
So in a few days.
In a couple days. Sorry, I thought it was July 6th. Okay, June 16th. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
to be
my
honest with
wife's
you, I think
birthday.
like the last time I saw a film in theaters was like 2014 or something. So it's been a while.
So
Well,
I'm gonna go
Father,
see it.
she is or no?
I guess I'll go see it on the day before my birthday.
Your birthday is that the 15th?
No, my birthday is the 22nd. I'll go on the 21st.
Ah,
Oh,
cool.
okay, cool. June 22nd. Yeah, now when Flash comes out, that's my wife's birthday on Friday. She's gonna turn. Well, let's see. I'll say 37. I'll give her that 20-year flyby, and we can stay in denial till the end of the month. Then I told her, okay, honey, you may not want to stay in denial after the end of the month because then you won't have to worry about your birthday anymore.
We finally had a birthday for one of our church members, and they asked. I don't know why they would ask because it's a woman, but she gladly told her age. She's 87. I said, "Wait a minute. You don't look a day over 50." And she said, "Ah, I love you." But she did. She didn't
Yeah.
look
awesome.
87.
That's awesome,
charm.
Jay. You are a charmer. Yes, you are.
She said, "If you would, I'd marry you."
Didn't you tell me there was one night you were on the stream with Yvette, and Yvette said something to you, and she was like, she said, "I'm talking to a fellow intellect here," or was there something like that?
I think she said her age, and I said, "Oh my God, you don't look over so and so." And she said something. I can't remember if she said "I love you" or "You're crazy" or what.
Yeah, well, that sounds like Yvette. Yeah, she's a fun bundle of joy when it comes to quantum physics. I know nothing about quantum physics. I'm adult when it comes to that. I don't understand quantum theory. I don't think I'm even meant to understand the cosmic significance of it, but it's out there. She teaches some very prominent and intellectual students, according to her, that have their own theories, and that's what she wants. She wants to encourage theory, to put stuff out there and then try to prove it. Like scientists are meant
Right.
to do is prove their theories and
Give you a problem and you figure out the answer.
Yes,
I love listening to stuff like that. Like I can't do it. I can barely do algebra, but I love listening to the lectures and stuff like that.
I had one failing grade in high school, Trusty, and I know where you're coming from. My failing grade was in geometry. I had one F in my entire 4 years of high school, and that was in geometry. And the only reason I got that F, that one quarter, because it's in quarters, they're divided in four segments. And the only reason I got it was because she wouldn't explain to me about theorems and about other things. And I was like, look, I'm as smart as the next guy when it comes to math or algebra or whatever. But if you don't explain to me what you're exactly trying to teach to us, I won't learn it because it's just, I need to be taught. I need it to be explained in King's English so I can actually understand what you're saying. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it's just, yeah. I mean, all your technical terms, your theorems, things about that, I won't even know. But I did manage to get out of that class with a C, so a C minus. So I guess my
I
parents were
never
happy.
had geometry or algebra going to school.
Yeah.
I was in a special. Uh, it was for slow learners and retarded children and disabled children, and we never had that because we couldn't get near. I'll tell you this. I just got tested again for my disability, and I have a college reading graduate level, and I have a fourth grade math level.
Yeah, but your college reading is an achievement in itself, Jay. You shouldn't
Yeah.
let the math. Yeah, you shouldn't let the math bother you. It doesn't bother me.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. My sister helps me with my finances. I ain't worried about it.
Well, there you go. I had my
Exactly.
youngest. Yeah, exactly. I had my youngest sister for a while take care of my finances until because I got into some financial problems myself. And without going much further on that, thank God for Suzanne because she's so economical and fruitful, and she's able to
Right.
balance a budget. And I said, honey, I'm giving it all to you. I don't want my sister Elizabeth doing this anymore. I want you to take care of it, and we've been fine ever since. So
Just don't get
kudos
me
to
in
my
debt.
wife. Don't what?
Just don't get me in debt.
Yeah, no. We do live within our means. I think my parents were confident that we were going to do okay, but most of the rest of my family were all saying we were going to end up on the street or we just weren't going to have a place or anything and suffer. And no,
Do
we're just fine, thank you.
you know that these kids in school now, even in high school, the
Yeah.
teachers haven't even taught them how to write a check. They don't know how to write a check. One of my aid workers, I asked them to write a check for me for my rent. The girl did not know what to do.
Wow.
The high schooler teachers need to teach them about debt, credit cards, cash, and write a check.
Exactly. I think that's what they should do first thing, especially if you're going to do an economics class. Put a checkbook in front of every single person and tell them, okay, the school is sponsoring these checkbooks for you. I'm not talking about computer accounts. I'm talking about a real life checkbook here. You
Yeah.
know, the leather, everything, whatever it has to be in, or a simple one, paper. Who cares? What I would do is have the school allot just a small amount to each of the children in the economics class, and
Just give them
then
fake checks and just have them teach them how to write a check. That's all you have to do.
exactly. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. Exactly. All
Like
they would
they
have
did
to
us
do,
when I was in school.
yeah, exactly. No, that's what I told my other sister, Bernadette. She's a substitute teacher. I said, look, what you do is you give them a blank checkbook with just
Yeah.
where they can pretend to write their name and so forth, and then
Uh-huh.
have them as like as a say a full semester test until the end of the
Uh-huh.
semester. Keep track of everything that you're writing on these fake checks.
Yeah.
Just keep track and see what you have. If you
Mhm.
make real money, like if you're, do you agree, Captain? That like if you're and Daniels, if you guys like if you're earning, say, some real life money, maybe doing a paper route, maybe doing cleaning tables at a restaurant for a few pennies or something, or you're mowing lawns, whatever you do in real life, keep that real money, and then put that money towards your fake account for now, and put it together. And then once you realize, when you're deducting from your amount in the checkbook, for maybe expenses. Oh, I want to go see a movie, or
Right.
oh, I need to get this new part for my bike or something. If they were able to do something like that in today's society, I guarantee that more than half of those kids who play, Call of Duty or Minecraft or whatever, but know nothing about how to balance a budget or a checkbook,
Right.
would learn. They would learn very quickly.
They don't even have economic classes in our high schools here.
That's a very
They
bad thing.
barely they
Yeah.
barely have home ec.
Oh, yeah, I know. My sister took home ec.
They
My
don't
my
even have
substitute teacher
they
one.
don't even take history class.
Yeah, that's a
I
good
said, what the
question.
heck do you do all day in high school? Twiddle your thumb?
It's that, or they play games on their phone. Why do you give
Yeah.
a kid, especially a 10-year-old kid? Why would you give a 10-year-old kid his own cell phone and then
They're
decide,
teaching them fake math.
yeah,
That stupid, what they call new math, that's from across the world. Just go back to what we grew up on. We did fine.
we
Yeah.
all did
We grew up
fine.
fine.
Yeah, we all did fine. When I learned, what this was great about my school. I got to learn not only American history, but I also learned about my state where I was living in, which was called Arizona history, and it went away after like a couple years. And I was so sad about that because the teacher, Miss, uh, uh, oh, what was her name? Well, I guess it was, yeah, Ortega. So Miss Ortega. So she actually taught me about my own state. There was things I didn't even know about Arizona when I first moved there. And then through her class, I was able to learn more about my state than most any other people that actually came later and moved there and had no
Mhm.
knowledge. And I had all that knowledge about it. And my my English teachers, my social studies, everything was fantastic. Even my science teachers were awesome because they just talked to us in plain English and explained everything in detail.
Oh,
And
I
I
had
had a
A's
miss
in
I
science.
had a gentleman named Mr. Lavold who I took in 7th and 8th grade, my middle school years, and he just
Yeah.
taught me basic science. And I learned a lot of things from him. And I mean, it was just great stuff. I mean, just I was taught well, and I know all you guys were taught well too. So
Yeah, I gotta
Well,
say, I
that's
had some
it.
fantastic teachers. Just didn't really have the social support and support at home. For my situation. So
yeah, which is unfortunate because I think parents above all need to be the bedrock to your
Yeah.
success in the future. Is they have to be there for you. If they're not
Mm-hmm.
there for you, you're in no trouble. I truly believe that. There's not a it's unfortunate. It really is. There's more broken families nowadays, and we all worry about it because we know we had great parents when we were growing up. Mine were awesome. I always say that to my folks whenever I talk to them. So
Well, I have a funny story about
okay,
math.
okay, go ahead.
I had just graduated from my school, graduated valedictorian. Now, that's not saying anything because remember, I graduated from a school for slow learning, um, disabled, and retarded children. Okay. My neighbor across the street comes over, wants me to help her with math. I said, I can try. I looked at that math book for like 2 minutes. I looked up at her, looked back at the book, looked back at her, and I said, when did they put letters in it?
Oh my.
Oh my, oh my.
Because I
That's
never had
wow.
geometry or algebra or nothing like that. I
Yeah,
I still to this day cannot do fractions or less than greater than. It just cannot compute in my cracked memory chips of a brain.
Hey, we've all got our, our strengths and weaknesses. Like graduating, I think is just important in itself. Like I went and got my high school equivalency at the age of 30 because I was like, I got to get it sometime. So.
Well, this is how I
congratulations.
graduated. I graduated because the principal was walking down the hallway and he said, "Uh, when's your next birthday?" I said, "June." He said, what age will you be?" I said, 18. He said, "You graduate." And then he took a look at all of our scores and picked who'll be valedictorian, so on and so forth. He wasn't
That was
anything
really
about
nice.
credits or
Yeah, that
nothing.
was really nice of him. Have Do you have
Well,
any
yeah, our school was
experience like that
closing. It
yourself,
was the
Captain?
last of the graduating class at my school. So it's a shame that they closed it down because there's a lot more disabled kids and retarded kids and slow learner kids in this area than there ever was. So they need a school like that again.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. What was your experience, Captain? What like what was your education like, basically, in a nutshell?
Oh,
Yeah.
it it was it had its challenges, but overall it was good. I was fortunate that um, I was involved in the music program, choral music program, in high school. So I was busy with music most of the time.
Oh, that's cool. They say that at one time, many schools were lacking a musical program of some sort, whether it was dealing with a band or a music theory class. I believe that's still true today, isn't it? That a lot of schools don't have that.
Yeah.
And I know they say it's due to lack of funding and so forth, but I think that's total BS. In my day, when I went into school, starting with third grade, I went into a music class and I learned how to play a recorder and a flute eventually and a
Hmm.
piccolo. And I did that for 6 years. I was even in a band. My 1 year I spent in Catholic high school and played and marched on the field and did all that stuff. And it really helped me. It was one of the most enjoyable moments of my life because I could actually play an instrument. I could say to people, "Look, I can play this. I have fun with this. This is what more schools should do. But because they come up with excuses of some kind, like I said, lack of funding, they come up with excuses. That's why most people don't succeed. I think that every school, and I mean every school in any country or anywhere, should have a music program of some kind, something to help kids out, because
Mhm.
all they need is to express their talent. And every kid has a hidden talent. I don't care what a kid says to you. If they say they don't have a talent, they're lying. Each one of them has a hidden talent. I truly believe that. So that, to me, that's what I say. Look, go out there, find an instrument to play, even if it's drums. You know, even if you like to play drums, then hell, go play drums. You know, that's.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just it's necessary. But that's what I really hate is that um, schools in general are giving excuses, and the only place that you think you can find these uh, type of music programs that can adapt to your life are these highfalutin, private schools and stuff. Like the Juilliards and things like that. That's just wrong. To me, that's wrong. Let me hear your guys' opinions on that because that really bothers me. Go ahead. We'll start with Daniel Hot Topic. What do you think, my friend? Do the schools still need an educate or a musical program, like a musical class?
Oh yeah. I think it still needs a musical program. I hear that music actually does improve the brain a little bit. I don't know how. It never really did it for me, but whatever.
Yeah, but it expands your mind, which is essential. If you want to be educated, if you want to be taught to in school, you need to have your mind expanded to leave it open and no sort of closure. Captain Nerd, we'll go to you. What do you think?
Hmm. You know, you got me thinking about some stuff. Um, because like my niece was a flautist in high school,
Oh yes,
and she also played the piccolo.
yeah, and you know what? It's not as difficult as you think. If you can play a bigger, longer flute, you definitely can play. Excuse me, play a a smaller instrument like a piccolo. I had to learn, but yeah, it's easy. It's easy enough to learn if you pay attention. Go ahead, finish your story. Go ahead.
I just wish I could get one for her to play now.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
awfully expensive.
I ended up giving mine to my sister Bernadette, and she played it for a little while, but not as long as I did. I wish she had gotten more into it. She even admits that, but you know, it didn't quite work out that way. Trusty, my buddy Trusty. So, what do you think? More
Yeah,
music in
I
schools?
definitely agree with you. I was fortunate enough that when I was young, at least I was in a school that had a music program in the regular curriculum. So like second through fourth grade or second through fifth grade.
Right.
It was just part of the regular curriculum during the day. We learned to play recorders, and we would do just choir basically, or but we would do like popular songs and stuff like that, and then we did the school talent show, and there was a whole. So yeah, that was definitely a big boost for all of our confidence, and music's something that stuck with me through my whole life. So it's something that you know that I devoted myself to. So
So you
uh,
were, yeah, because I know you play guitar, right? So, right? Am
yeah,
I right?
primarily I played drums, bass, guitar, piano. I wanted to just be a poet and sing, and then I ended up kind of just learning to play music just out of the love for it, and not being able to find enough musicians who were uh, in my area, and I've gotten better about that now. So
Well, that's amazing that you have such a multi talent like that, multi talents. to be able to play like that, and that you were solidly encouraged. Like you were saying, just for my point of view, uh, we had. I was blessed enough to say that I was in 3 different schools, which all had a musical program, and besides that, they were also able to have parents come and listen to concerts and social events and that sort of thing. And football games were great because if you played as part of the marching band, you wanted to see them at halftime. You wanted to see how your son or daughter was doing, and learning the instrument and learning the techniques and marching around and so forth. I mean, they were really proud of you and really encouraged your participation. Um, just to quickly say for myself, when I stopped, I went ahead and tried to get into as many extracurricular things as I could. I became a trainer for my high school basketball team. I went into their drama group, and worked on a few plays and even was in one. And I thought the experience was just it's unforgettable. It's what you want to have, in your life. You put it as your lifetime resume and say, "This is what I was able to do. I was so blessed, and by God and everything." And my parents, of course, their support was unwavering. They encouraged me, and I was just so blessed. I mean, I feel that way. Jay, did you have any kind of musical program when you were going through your, high school or anything like
Um,
that?
it was called Morehouse Education Development Center.
Oh, okay.
Um, it the last 2 years of my school, we had a music class,
Oh,
and
nice.
the teacher got money from the school board to get some equipment, and some of my students had already uh, was good on some instruments, so they brought their own instruments, and she had them to do what one of y'all just said, a talent show thing every Friday.
That's
After
awesome.
lunch, we would they would perform on their instruments for an hour, hour and a half. And I couldn't learn an instrument. And she said, "Well, let's see if you can sing."
Oh, there you go.
Well, I sang a song that I liked, and she said, "You're our lead singer."
That's awesome, dude.
And after school, my class, we became fast friends because of that music class. And after we graduated, we continued singing, and we went around from Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, Texas, Mississippi, and Kentucky singing in churches
That's fantastic.
for
I,
special events,
sir,
not
sir, I
in
applaud you. Yeah.
not in the chapel, but in another part of the church, like the cafeteria area or outside, because you don't sing country music in the chapel.
Well, what was easier for you, Jay? Was it easier to sing outside? Because I've sang in both venues. I've sang outside. I've sang inside in my 26 plus years I've been singing. And
I can
honestly,
sing
I can't
anywhere.
say which is better. Yeah. So for you, was it inside or outside was better?
Both.
Both.
I just can't sing a cappella. I've got to have music behind me.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not that skilled at acapella myself. I gotta have some kind of singing. Well, I gotta have something to. Somebody's got to be playing something for me in the
Yeah,
background,
right.
and I gotta have a background singer as well. I think Trusty Ape would agree with me on that as well. You gotta
And
have backup.
I sing in
Is
a
that true?
church choir, and we have gone to other churches singing. And when I missed and I come back, the music director always says, "Thank God Jay's back. Our bass is back."
So I have this weird thing, and so this is one of the reasons I, wanted to become a songwriter. It's because I have the music playing in my head, and I can relate it to if any of y'all are like singing in the shower. Like sometimes when you have that kind of white noise, the sound of the water splashing, you're able to just kind of get into your own inner ear. Like that's where I hear it, but it's different for other people because but I would have that music always playing in my head in the background of whatever situation. But yeah, I don't know if that's the place to sing a cappella is in the shower for sure. Get the best tones in there.
Yeah, it's really cool. The
Great
one time
echo.
that I told, I think I told a couple of you gentlemen previously about it, but the one time I got to perform outside the Las Vegas Strip, and this place that I was in, this casino that I was in, singing, was open to it was wide open, so anybody on the strip could hear you because for some reason the KJ at the time, the karaoke jockey, was able to hook up his speakers right directly outside. So anybody who was listening, if they were listening and they were just walking by, if somebody, stood out and was singing something that they were interested in, it would bring people into the place. And I kid you not, every single song that I sang for this KJ that night, everybody came in to listen to me. Everyone.
That's awesome.
I mean, even off the street, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I just felt like the luckiest person in the world. I may not have been. I tell you this much: I may not have been the best singer of that whole group that was singing that night, but I can tell you, a lot of people were interested. As soon as they heard my voice going, they were like, "Who's that?" And then they would come in, they would see me, and they're like, "Really? That little short man there? Wow, he's got such a voice." I would hear these little things here and there, and I was like, I was so happy. I said, "Take that, Rod Stewart." That's just one person I wanted to pick out, but yeah, I felt so awesome. It was just having those little moments, being able to perform. I'm sure that's the way it was for you, Jay. It was just being proud that you could sing those songs, and you too, Trusty, Ape, and to you also, gentlemen. So yeah.
Well, it's good that the people we sang to love Conway Twitty because Conway Twitty fans don't care if you can't carry a tune, if you have to sit down and sing instead of stand, or what. They just want to hear a Conway Twitty song. They miss it.
Yeah. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was Seth MacFarlane of Family Guy who actually brought back Conway Twitty. Most people didn't even know who he was.
And people thought that was a joke, but he loves Conway Twitty. He said that in an interview.
Yeah, he did.
I just remember him from those Time Life music commercials when they were selling those compilations on TV.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Time Life presents the 100 greatest rock and roll hits of the year of this century.
Yeah.
You'll hear hits like the Divinyls, I Touch Myself, and you'll also hear songs like, Gangnam Style from Psy, and all this stuff.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people don't know this, but Conway Twitty had more #1 hits than even Elvis, the Beatles, George Strait.
Wow.
He's only got 64 #1 hits. Conway Twitty has 66.
That's insane.
Really?
Why didn't Conway Twitty get as much recognition, Jay? What do you think was the reason? Because that's just insane, having that many #1 hits.
Many, a lot of fans. Also, he knew how to deliver a song. He knew how to pick a song, and
Obviously.
he also, every time he sat down to pick a song, he said, what song will hit a woman's heart? He only did one song for the men, and that's it.
Yeah.
Mostly it was for women, and he had #1 hits in every decade, and he knew this: you have to change with the times. If you don't, you will die.
He was the one who said that, huh?
Yes,
Wow.
yes.
I never. Yeah, I never. What you know? What I just learned something
And
new.
he
I
also
knew he
gave
said that. Yeah.
he also gave away songs to his friends because he knew that song would be good for him. He gave songs to Ronnie Millsap, Reba McEntire. Um, the Bee Gees loved him so much that Barry Gibb wrote a song for Conway. He gave some to some that just rejected the songs. And he said, well, if you don't take it, I will, and it'll be a #1 hit. And sure enough, it was a #1 hit.
Yeah, there was a couple other people I grew up with listening to. One of them was Chris Christopherson, and my beloved Suzanne was pleasant enough to remind me that he did contribute many songs to other fledgling artists and help
Yeah.
them in their careers. He was definitely one of those most influential. The other one I was thinking of too was Glenn Campbell, and I only came across Glenn Campbell one time in my life. It was at one of those pro-am golf tournaments, and I said, Mr. Campbell, I said, you were fantastic. Growing up, I listened to you, Wichita Lime, and all that stuff. He says, yeah, but I got most of those songs from, other writers and stuff. It wasn't just me. I had help. I said, I know, but you still sang them, and you know,
Right.
to me that means a lot. So I mean, he definitely was a big influence in my life too, Glenn Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and there's many others, but I just wanted to mention two prominent ones that I thought, it was interesting.
One last thing about Conway Twitty, and I'll stop talking because I can talk about Conway 24/7.
That's okay.
He, Loretta Lynn, and Randy Travis all said one night on a TV show.
Wow.
The
Okay.
host said, how do you figure out where you have a #1 hit? And he said, any publication that does ratings, if you got a #1, you got a #1. Whether it's Billboard, R&B, or Canadian, or a UK magazine rating thing, if you got a #1, you got a #1.
Yeah. Yeah. People's taste of music, especially for oldies music, I'm starting to see a resurgence of that. Would you agree, Jay and Trustee and Daniel and Captain?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hell, you live in Canada. They loved him up there.
They did. My wife, in
They,
fact, she was a huge fan of Conway's.
yeah,
Big
they
fan.
had a concert, and this thing had like 20,000 people. It seemed like. I mean, the thing was crowded. When he did the
Yes, it
song
was.
"The Rose," they had lighters and everything just uh, lit up. And Conway was so sad that there was several people writing to him saying, "I wish I could go to the concert, but you're sold out." Well, he contacted the Canadian that TV station up there,
Yeah, it was
and
representative.
he gave him permission to air it.
That's awesome. Yeah. Now, some people may not know this, but Jay might. And Trustee, you might know this as well. But there was one time that Elvis Presley himself. This was the only time he ever traveled to Canada, and he came up here to Toronto, and he did two
Mm-hmm.
shows in Toronto
Mm-hmm.
there at the older stadium they had. Uh, I guess now it's the Rogers Center. Well, there's a few Rogers Center places, but he did it at one of those locations. He did it for 2 nights, and I never knew that. I mean, I never knew that Elvis even went outside of the. I knew he went to other countries, right? Don't get me wrong, I knew that, and
Yeah,
Hawaii, of course. But I never knew that he went to Canada, and
yeah,
I found out the story that he did a couple concerts here. The crowds were great to him. He loved it. He wished he could come back, but that was the only times he was ever able to come to Canada, and he
Mhm.
felt bad about that, even up to his death. So, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
I
Well-
didn't know that. I guess that would be an issue with like his booking agent, right? His record contract, because he doesn't really have control over that. Once they send him on tour, he just goes where they tell him to.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that had a lot to do with Colonel Tom Parker, obviously,
Yeah, exactly.
and I don't,
Now,
and that
something about
bothers me.
Elvis.
Yeah,
Something about Elvis. He was doing a concert in some state in the United States,
right.
and he had booked for 2 nights. There was somehow he found out that there were people that couldn't get to the concert those 2 nights. He stayed 2 more nights for free.
For free. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just the kind of man he was. I think a lot of people don't even understand Elvis for
Yeah, there's a lot of artists that
charitable
are
and
very
compassionate he
kind.
was. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think a lot of people truly understand how magnificent this man was. I mean, I know he had his problems, but at the
Right.
same time, I think that he was just a vital. He was definitely a vital cog in what music is about, and how you're supposed to write songs, and how you're supposed to inspire people by writing those songs, and then being able to sing them and
Well,
truly
that's why they
appreciate.
called him the king of rock and roll.
That's it. Hey, my friend Daniel, Hot Topic. What if you could think of any? And I'll ask you all, you guys, this: if you can think of one artist that you've heard over, musical artist you've heard over your lifetime, what's one artist that you think would have, inspired you? Like, would have been like your muse, I guess you could call it that way. Would that be the right term, muse? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's a good question. I hear a lot of artists in my life. I'm not sure about that.
Well, if there's one that you might pick off the top of your head, what artist would that be? If you can think of one.
Like who? Like you mean who I want to talk to?
Yeah, if you wanted to meet one person,
Uh,
one musical artist.
I don't know. I think I'd like to meet Elvis.
Oh yeah,
He's really cool. Like apparently he was in the military.
yes he
Yeah.
was. Yeah, he served in the army. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And apparently, you know what? He's a black belt he was a black belt in karate or something. And I'm like, oh my god, really? I never knew that. It is so cool.
Yeah, he earned that. He really did. I don't know, I'm not sure who it was that really taught him, but I do know he earned it. That's for sure.
And apparently Priscilla was also a black belt. I'm like, whoa, that is so lucky, That's cool to be married to a black belt. It's so cool.
Yeah.
You know what? I heard this weird story about Elvis. Just real quick, I'll tell it. But I heard this weird story that he was out, on tour, and his wife was with him. It was one of the few times that Priscilla was with him, and he's going through the crowd. This woman was getting ready to blow a big kiss on his cheek, and Priscilla goes, and uses her arm and pushed this lady over about a couple feet away.
My man.
And I was like, that's my, yeah. I would have been like, I was said, that's my gal. That's my wife. Keep away from me. She'll hurt you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So he'd be your inspiration then, Daniel, right? If he was alive, he'd be the
Yeah.
one to see. Yeah.
Wait a second. Did you say Priscilla did that?
Yeah, Priscilla did.
Yeah. Yeah. I heard
What?
that story. too.
What? She say it again. She beat the guy up.
No,
or something?
it was a woman.
No,
It was
no.
a girl. It was a groupie, I guess we could call them groupies then. And she
Yep.
was trying to get close to him. This was after he had finished a concert. She was trying to get close to him, and Priscilla was right there. This was one of the few times she actually came with him on tour, and the lady tried to get in a kiss to his cheek, and she said, "Oh no, you don't." And she put out her arm and did a thrust, and not to harm the woman, but she just knocked her back a few feet, and the woman landed on her arse.
Yeah.
And Elvis was heard saying, "I'm sorry, but my wife's protecting me, and I love her for it." You know, and
That is so cool. I mean,
I know. I
yeah,
know.
no. I always
She
said,
couldn't take how women adored him that way. That's one of the reasons why. One of the many reasons that they got divorced. She couldn't
Yeah.
take that women were throwing underwear at him and stuff.
And they're jumping all over him and everything. And of
Yeah.
course, his Memphis, what is his Memphis Mafia or whatever they call them, those guys that are supposed to protect him, couldn't usually do it all the time. I'm not sure why. It's just a thing. But yeah, but some of his people couldn't
Well,
protect
he
him.
was married before Priscilla, and Colonel Tom had that annulled.
He did, yeah, I remember that. And we just recently lost Elvis's daughter too. You know, that was so sad. How Lisa Marie passed away. Yeah, Lisa Marie's gone.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I thought you knew that, Jay.
No.
Yeah, she passed away. Just what was it? A couple months ago. Yeah, Lisa Marie.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, the only one left is Priscilla. That doesn't say much, but you know,
I think
'cause I like
got
Lisa Marie.
daughter.
You know,
I think Lisa's got a daughter.
I believe she does. Yeah, though I don't think it was by Michael Jackson. Thank God.
No. What's your hero, Captain Phantom Nerd?
Well, let's see here. I don't know if I'd say
Yeah, that was not a great pairing. Yeah, Captain Fandom Nerd. You growing up, what was, if so,
What
if
was
the
the
person
one
is
that
living
influenced
overseas,
you?
would you want to meet with them? What's your, yeah,
Yeah.
right. What's your choice, Captain?
Well, I remember. Oh God, this was years ago. One group that I got to meet was Chicago.
Oh, nice. Now, did you meet him with Peter Cetera or with or pre Peter Cetera?
It was post.
Post of, okay.
Yeah.
After he left the group, okay.
Yeah, I wish it'd been with Peter Cetera.
That would have been cool. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, it was fun. Got a chance to talk, just general stuff. It was just kind of fun. God, that's been years ago.
Yeah, but that was fun, right? I mean, it was just
Oh, it
being able
was.
to meet some of the band members and stuff.
And I mean, they were just normal people. That's one of the things that I, learned back then was it's like these are just normal people.
Oh, of course.
And
yeah. And
so,
they're just chance encounters, right? So it's great stuff.
Yeah.
When you run into somebody like that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. So Chicago, that's great, man. That's awesome. And I wish I could have met Peter Cetera myself. I always wanted to meet with him. I thought he was a great artist. I'm just sad he left the group, but he wrote most of their songs, their hits. You know, I don't care what they say about before he joined. I know that when he joined, they got better. They were a better group, much better, in my opinion. Hey, trustee. So, I see Freddie Mercury there.
Yeah, I kind of showed my cards on this one.
I thought he'd be your inspiration, but that'd be cool if he is, because he's just awesome. He was a wonderful, wonderful singer.
I thought he was an amazing artist. Just a very unique individual. Very, very much like Elvis. And he took a lot of his cues from that kind of, but I do just I sympathize with the way he the things he had to go through, because he a lot of if you know the story now because it's a big movie, but a lot of people
Yeah.
didn't know that he came out of an impoverished immigrant family to make an empire, and like
Was
he
it
really
was
was
it,
just
it
at his peak when everything went the wrong way for him.
let me ask you a question, Trustee. Was it an impoverished Russian family or Ukrainian? Was it Eastern Europe? Eastern European?
No, I think they were like Romanian or something like that.
Oh,
I don't
wow.
remember
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
yeah, it was like one of the smaller Eastern European countries, I think. And then they were considered to be like gypsy or whatever, that type of
Mhm.
thing.
Romanian gypsies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I remember the one you was talking about, Bohemian Rhapsody. That was the movie. I never got a chance to see it, but I heard that the actor who played him, I believe, was Rami Malek, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So then, the first experience I get with Rami Malek, and now I kind of regret. I wish I had seen that Bohemian Rhapsody, docudrama about him. I wish I had. Um, but then I see Rami Malek in No Time to Die, and he plays, you know, what is it? Safin plays Safin in that, the villain to Daniel Craig's Bond. And I said, really? That's the guy who portrayed Freddie Mercury, and
Yeah.
and he's in this latest Bond film. I said, that's fast. Sender Safin, that was his name. I just
No,
thought,
he
oh,
did. I
wow.
think he did a really good job, in my opinion. Just he totally got into. He played the part. He looked the part. I was impressed. All
Yeah,
the actors who were in there, they were dead ringers. It's like, how did
yes,
you get that?
exactly, exactly. I think it was. I recall if I recall, background interview. I think they did with Roger Taylor, and I think he said, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of my facts get jumbled, but I think what Roger Taylor said was he thought that when he saw Rami the first time, and he looked and he saw the film, some of the surviving, including him and Brian May, were able to see a preview of it before it premiered, and they watched it. And I know Brian May said, "Wow, Freddy's alive again." And this is just Rami playing him, and he's saying Freddy's alive again. He's in Rami. That's not Rami. That's Freddy. Freddy's back. I mean, he said that. And I was like, wow. Um, if you can pull that off, I have nothing but the deepest respect, for being able to portray
Yeah.
such a compassionate, uh, wonderful singer like him. You know, coming from such a harsh background. So yeah, that's a huge compliment from Brian May if he can say that. If he did say that, I believe he did. But all right, Jay. Last but not certainly least and best of all of, or we're all best, but go ahead, sir. What was your most
I don't have a
influential?
single one of an influence. There's three.
That's
There
fine. You can
is
mention them. Go ahead.
that's of course Conway,
Of
um,
course. Yeah.
BB King,
Oh, that's a good choice.
Mhm.
and the Chuck Wagon Gang.
Ah, Chuck Berry.
They
Yeah.
are a gospel family group. As a matter of fact, their great grandkids have taken over. They are a
That
great group, and I love their song. I'll sail away home. That's gonna be my funeral song right there.
fantastic. Where are they based from originally? Louisiana also?
I think in the South somewhere. I can't remember what state.
Chuck Wagon Gang. Huh.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I was myself. I got it because it was really. I was listening to you guys. I was like trying to figure it out. Here it is, the Chuck Wagon Gang, the musical group. They're actually in here. That's amazing. Um, let's see, Melissa Kemper, Dad, uh, Carter. Oh my gosh, this is where I need my glasses. I'm so bad. Here it is. Melissa Kemper, Dad Carter, Shay Smith, Stan. Uh, yeah, they have a YouTube thing they posted back in 2019 called "No Depression in Heaven."
Mm.
Yeah, so they've been out there for a while.
Oh yeah, since the
And they've been on
20s or
YouTube
30s.
a few times. Yeah, they first formed in 1935. The
There it is.
official
Yeah.
website of the Seminole Country Gospel Group. Yeah, 1935.
Hmm.
They
By
really
David P.
exploded,
Carter.
they really exploded when they got played on the Grand Ole Opry.
Yeah, and what it says here also, they got their first radio break as sponsored singers for Bewley Flower in 1936.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't tell me where they're from. It just says when they got
No.
formed, and it doesn't tell me where they, what state they were in. I'm sorry, I
Well,
took a
if
few
you can,
moments there to go through
if you
Wikipedia
can
to look
click
that
on
up.
one of their
No
names,
problem.
it may say where they're born.
Yeah. Okay. I'll probably look that up. But yeah, that's interesting. I wasn't that familiar with them. No, I wasn't even remotely familiar. So thank you, Jay. That opens me up to some
I,
newer music or older music
my
in this case.
parents were born in the 30s, and they were raised, of course, on listening to the radio, listening to the Grand Ole Opry every Saturday night, and they grew up listening to country and gospel.
That's amazing. Yeah. What was that? There was a movie that kind of portrayed that those oldie radio shows. It had George
Yeah,
Clooney. In it. Yeah, constant.
brother, where art thou?
Oh, brother, art thou? Right. Yes, that was a good film. You know what? I actually enjoyed that film. I did like Clooney's performance, but the one that I really enjoyed more was John Turturro's. He
Yeah.
was just perfect for that movie. It always seems like Turturro has a way of like just fitting into a film, and then he's just good.
Mhm.
So for me, it was Turturro's performance. I enjoyed it, but Clooney was good too, and he was okay.
I think my favorite musical movie would be, of course, Coal Miner's Daughter. Sissy
Yeah,
Spacek, she sang all the songs,
that's right.
and
And Loretta,
when she was with Loretta Lynn, that
yeah.
accent of hers came out. Sissy Spacek couldn't help but talk like Loretta.
I do remember that. I recall that. Yeah, and Loretta said one time. Loretta said in an interview, she said, Sissy and Coal Miner's Daughter, my life story. I thought she was singing better than I did.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
and I said, "What, Sissy Spacek? We're talking about the same
yeah,
woman who did Carrie,
yeah.
which is a great Stephen King classic film, by the way. If I hope all of us have seen it, but I'm going to get Gorillas to play it one night. I'll get him to see it.
They were the greatest friends, Mikey. When Loretta died, she said, "My heart, I thought I was going to have a heart attack when I heard she died."
Yeah, I heard that too. Yeah, yeah. Spacek is well, as all of us are. We've got multi-talented abilities, and yeah, she is one of my favorite actresses. I do like Sissy Spacek. I don't think she ever even did a bad movie at all, really. Uh, she's just that good.
She got the Academy Award for that movie.
She did? Yeah, I remember that. Oh, yeah, okay. I guess getting to me last here. Well, when I was growing up, when I was growing up in the '70s or so forth, I always I always had a flair for groups like the Little River Band, Chicago, uh, Bee Gees, those types of groups that had great harmonies, things of that
Love the
nature.
Bee Gees.
Yes. Partridge Family.
Uh,
Oh hell, even the Brady kids, I guess, get a pass. Uh,
Oh.
but
oh Lord,
but but then we can't really say
you're breaking up, Mikey.
that because because Patriot, I guess, because the Partridge Family did have Shirley.
You're breaking up, Mikey.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it cut
Oh,
out for a few
thank you.
seconds.
Oh, so sorry. Yeah. So, which is odd. I guess StreamYard's having problems. Um, so yeah, I was so used to singing with harmony groups when I was a little kid, and that I never in my life dreamed I would. Then one day, which I believe I told you guys before, I went to a place here or a place back there in Arizona called Casino, Arizona, and the Little River Band was performing. And of course, I had only been singing myself for like 3 years up to that point. So I went to their concert. I sat at an end table, and just about the middle of the concert, one of their roadies, very sneaky bastard, uh, just fished a microphone down to my table and left it there. It was small enough that I couldn't pick it out. I couldn't see what was going on. And the next thing I know, they're playing one of my favorite tunes, Night Owls, and I'm like, I'm singing with these guys. We're literally a five-part harmony. They had the four guys up there, and I'm down there at the table, and then let me do a line from the song, and everybody went, "Whoa!" Like the whole place just went, what? Who just did that?" you know. And then it was really nice of the lead singer to afterwards, after the song was done, they had a small break and then they came back saying more stuff. And they introduced me, and the whole place applauded and stood up. I was like, oh my God. I've never had an experience like that ever in my life. I never had another experience after that. And I was just like, and I said, am I allowed to sing with you guys? And they said, oh, yeah, sure, go ahead. So from the remainder of that night, of their set, I got to sing their remaining songs with them. It was just absolutely
Oh,
incredible. Yeah, Little River Band, who would have thought? So yeah, but they were one of my. It's ironic because they were one of my favorite groups growing up in the '70s. So I thought, thank you God, I'm so blessed to be able to sing with these guys. I just thought it was just amazing. Um, and then later on, the other two that inspired me. One of them, ironically enough, or I guess to many people, was John Lennon. And I never got to see John Lennon perform. I really wanted to. And I blame my dad for playing whenever he had a chance. He played Double Fantasy a lot. And I really wanted to meet John Lennon. And I was like, wow, just absolutely incredible.
one of
Great
the
singer, great songwriter. Yeah, he was with the Beatles, but I think he did a lot better when he went solo on his own. And you know, I
If
wish
it
they didn't
wasn't
call it
for
the plastic.
Yoko,
Oh,
we still have the Beatles.
yeah, right. Well, I just wish he didn't call it the Plastic Ono Band. I wish he could have just left Yoko off to the sidelines and do all the stuff by himself. Because Yoko cannot sing.
no,
Yes, your son Sean can,
no.
and yes, your other son, John Julian, can definitely sing, but not your mom. Please take her out of the equation. I've been saying that for years. Uh, so yeah, and the last one that really inspired me in the '80s and '90s was Sting, and I was so happy to finally pass pass cross paths with him and wave to him and stuff. I said I don't need to walk up to him. My wife, Suzanne wanted us to go over to him, and I said, you know what, Suzanne, I'm happy. I got to see him in live person. I got to wave to him. I have to think that I've connected already with him, so I was fine with that. I mean, I could have walked over to him, but I didn't want to bother him. He looked like he was busy, so. But I was blessed to see that. So I was, Sting was huge to me. He's always been my favorite singer, my favorite male singer of all time. He really is. I got through so many difficult and depressing episodes in my life until I met beautiful Suzanne. But until I met her, Sting got me through so much because I was just like, I was a basket case for much of the '90s, and if it wasn't for his songs and his inspiration to me to continue to sing, to save my life, I probably wouldn't be here. So to Sting, Gordon Sumner, I say thank you because you did save my life, literally. That was my singer. So yeah, and I got to sing it. I mean, I got to see him 9 times in concert. I think that's enough.
Wow.
I was going to go a 10th time to see him perform with Elvis Costello, but I couldn't afford it. I said, oh, shoot, okay. But somebody was lucky enough to give me some YouTube videos, so I got to see that. But yeah, but that was cool. Yeah, so you guys have, obviously, we've all been inspired by awesome singers, man. That's great. I love it. And, well, I'm afraid to say female singers because I don't know. There's there's a lot of them. I only like one, but well, I don't know. I'll leave that up to you guys. What
Who is your
female wise?
favorite female singer, Mikey?
Yeah, me. I'm afraid to say it. I'll wait. I'll wait till the end. You start, Jay.
Oh, okay.
You go. You go, Trustee. You go, Captain. You go, Daniels, and then I'll say mine. So go ahead. You start, Jay. Start from the bottom and go.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Go ahead.
I would have to say, Reba. Of course,
Reba
I love
McEntire?
Loretta, but
Oh,
the one living right now is Reba McEntire.
Yes, that was tragic. I just watched the thing about cemeteries, and I just saw where her entire group crashed into a canyon or something outside of San Diego. Yeah,
Yep.
I felt really bad for Reba after that.
They were like family to her.
Yes, that's tough. Yeah. So Reba would have been yours, or is yours? Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't know this at the time. I didn't learn this until just recently, like last year. When Conway died, Loretta Lynn's husband was in the same hospital as Conway. He had collapsed on his bus,
Wow.
and they took him to the same hospital as Loretta's husband. He died of busted blood vessel in his stomach, and
Oh, no.
Reba got his whole family on her private jet and flew them to the hospital.
Wow.
Hmm.
That's really nice of Reba to do that.
Yep.
That's extremely nice. Wow. I can see why. That's a great choice, Jay. Yeah, she's one of a kind. She really is. When it
She's
comes to
got
her
a kindest
style,
heart than anyone that I've ever known.
I agree with you. Yeah. What about you, Trustee? If female artist, what's your take on it? What would be your favorite if you still could hear her?
I'm so sorry. I
Oh,
was
I was-
snacking.
Oh no, that's okay. I do that too myself sometimes. No, I was just going to ask you what, since we talked about a male artist, what about a female artist for you?
Current or like all time?
All time, or current, or whatever you choose. I'm saving mine till last because, well, I'll tell you later. But, but yeah, go ahead, Trusty. What's your favorite female?
That one's really difficult for me. 'Cause I had a big thing for pop stars growing up, but when I try to think about like, who I think is like, The most.
I know it's
I'm-
hard, but if you can pick like one right off the top of your head that you're thinking of, that might just be your very first choice. That's usually for me.
Yeah, I'm going with like I think Selena. Yeah,
Selena was good. Yeah.
as far as just presence as a the same thing with Freddie, just presence as a performer, and just the amazing range that she was capable of, and being so young.
Yeah. Are we talking about the Selena that passed away? Is that the same one?
Yeah, she was murdered.
Yeah, by her maid, right?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Celine Dion. Oh, okay.
Oh no.
No.
uh yeah, there's a divided jury out on that one, Jay, up here in Canada.
No,
There are some
she
people that like
was.
Celine.
Selena is a good singer. I saw the movie. I love her sound and everything.
Oh yeah, no, I don't have an issue with Celine Dion. Okay, that's not me, but I know that there are many Canadians. I'm not sure about both of us, but I know there are many Canadians that, for whatever reason or other, just don't like her. But I'm not sure why. I don't think it's the singing. It can't be the singing.
Yeah, I think it has more to
Play.
do with her politics or something. I don't
It
know if
could
you've
be
heard
that. Yeah, absolutely could be that.
Some Canadians think that she's a diva.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't know if you remember, there was a concert that was called Divas, and they showed it. I guess it was on TV or something, and she was in it. And there was a few other divas that came forward and
Yeah.
sang with her on that show. I know it's out there on YouTube somewhere. Somebody must have recorded it, but it's called Divas, and she was on that. So yes,
Oh,
I think that's a big reason that a lot of people, and like Trusty said, could be the political avenue she's in or something. But that's I don't know. The argument about Celine Dion to me is still open, and I don't like to get involved in that. I'll just say that I like her music because I do. But you know, if you get into politics, I'm not gonna talk to people about that with her because it's just pointless. It really
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Captain Fandom. What was a female artist that you growing up? Probably your best.
Oh my gosh. You know that would have to be a long list, but I'd have to go with let's go with somebody I could still meet. Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
Good choice. Yeah, Dolly's still out there. She's still making music even now. Yeah, she's still out there.
But
Amazing woman. Just wow. Yeah, she's written so many great songs. Like Conway, Jay. Uh, Dolly Parton has written a lot for other aspiring artists and men and women both. So yeah, she's an inspiration. That'd be cool, Captain. Have you ever even come close to meeting her or seeing her or anything?
no, I haven't.
Ah, yeah, that's wow. Yeah, no, well, she's still out there. Well, one of my friends from school, Anne Marie Paserno, is now a Grammy artist that lives out there in Nashville, and I think she's ran into Dolly once or twice. So if you ever get out that way out there in Nashville, look her up because Anne Marie, so that you can maybe meet up with Dolly. Who knows? It would be
You never
cool.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, would be cool. Daniels, Hot Topics, my friend. Any female artists that you grew up with or
Well,
you
I don't know. I mean, that's a hard question because I'm not really sure about that. But off the top of my head, I would say Britney Spears because I always grew up listening to her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in the night. Yeah,
Yeah,
she
she
was
was
I
big in
mostly
the
in the
almost said
90s,
Britney
right?
Spears.
Yeah,
Same,
she was.
same.
Yeah, mostly in the 90s, right? Yeah. Yeah, Brittany, she's had a really weird career. I think weird is being kind, in my estimation. But yeah, but I can see that because there's a lot of people in the '90s who grew up with her, and I don't, I don't fault them. I'm sure she is a pretty decent singer, but not maybe my first choice. But then that's me because I'm a purist. I love older stuff. I
Right.
love the older music and artists and so forth.
Right.
Uh, so is that your choice then, Daniels? Is Brittany and because you grew up and everything?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Definitely. Okay. All right,
Hey,
gentlemen. Well,
I've
I
got
guess
to.
it's yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say I've got to head out, but it's been lovely chatting with y'all.
All
Oh,
right.
Thanks
okay,
again, everybody.
trustee. Well, thank you so much for being a part of this stream. Absolutely. I'm
Yeah.
glad you came. I'm glad you were able
Thank
to
you for
hang
having
out
me,
with
Mikey.
us. Oh, you're welcome, dude.
All
Anytime.
right.
Anytime I run
See
a
you soon.
stream, you come on by. Okay.
All right.
All right, man. Yeah, he's a wonderful gent, trustee Abe. Very supportive too on all of our streams.
I'm sorry.
Oh no
So
no, Jay, please don't apologize. I cough sometimes too. It's no big deal. I
I
don't
didn't
care
know
on
you
this
were.
stream. You can do anything
I
you
did.
want. If you start gagging, though, I'm going to start worrying about you.
Yeah. I didn't know you wanted all-time favorite female. All-time favorite female for me would be Tammy Wynette.
Tammy Wynette, right?
Yeah.
Stand by your man.
Yeah.
Ah, that's a good choice
Dear
too.
God, to have the lung capacity to last that last note, sheep dip.
I used to be. I told you I used to be in a church choir for about 3.5 years, and I could sing with the altos. There were only two women that were altos in our group, and I sang with two other female sopranos uh, in the group. Or no, three. I'm sorry. There was three, and then myself. I was only one of two males. There were five of us, so there were two males, three females that were singing soprano. There were only two women that sang alto, and the rest were the men who were singing the baritone and the bass.
mhm.
And my uh, choir director, uh, my choir directors, I had two of them. Uh, Kent was one of them, and then his wife. Uh, and she said, "Yeah, I'll put you here at the altos and sopranos. You can sing with these girls." And I said, "Okay." I thought, because I couldn't sing low.
Right.
I just could not sing in a lower octave. So that's why I decided. She decided. Uh, Christine, that's it. Christine Campbell and Kent Campbell, great couple. So they decided just to go ahead and have me sing in the upper register with the women and the one male that was there, and it worked out
Yeah.
perfect. It was great.
Cool.
I loved it. Yeah. Uh,
Tammy had such a long range to keep a note so long that Lord forgive me, I know you're going to get tired of this.
oh no.
It reminds me of Conway. He could keep a note so long. I didn't see how he could keep that note so long. Well, when I
That's true.
started singing and singing his songs,
Yeah.
I made it a point to I'm going to do the best I can to sing as much like him as I can. So I had to train my lung capacity to
Yes.
hit that note as long as he could. And it took me 2.5 years, but now I can still do that. I can keep
Yes.
that note as long as he could.
And
Sometimes more
yeah.
than he could.
Oh, I'm sorry. I hope you didn't think I was interrupting you in any way,
No, no,
Jay.
no, 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 no,
Oh,
no.
okay. No, but what I was going to say was that's a
What's
great.
your pick
Oh,
for
for female?
female
Oh
artists?
yeah, I'll tell you in a minute. But just so we know, we've got still two people watching us. So thank you. I hope one of them is Resolute Germ. I'm sure it is. Thank you, Germ, for being here for so much. And LDG, I know, is probably watching us as well. So appreciate LDG
Uh,
too. And I did
sure.
notice you have Conway Twitty on your avatar.
Yes.
Ah, see, I should have known.
I don't worship. I don't worship him. I
No,
just
no, no,
like
no, no, no,
him.
no, 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 no. I know. No, no, no. I know. You don't worship him. I know. But you admire the man and
Yes,
in a huge
greatly.
way. Okay, before I say my favorite female artist, I have to say, first of all, uh, that my lovely wife Suzanne introduced me when we moved here 5 years ago. Or no, now it'll be 6 years. This coming September. 6 years ago in 2017, I was mostly, which for obvious reasons, born in the States, in the Bay Area and so forth. And I was used to all the, if not most, if not all, I guess that's what I was trying to say, most, if not all, American groups and so forth. I was familiar with a few Canadian groups, here, say,
Mhm.
like Brian Adams and that sort of thing.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, I was familiar, but not quite familiar. And when Suzanne brought me here, she reintroduced me to a lot of these Canadian artists that I thought absolutely amazing. Uh, there was so much good music that came out, so many good groups. There was one group that I really liked was Chilliwack, and they came out with the song "My Girl," which is a great song. Uh, there was Gord, the guy who was the lead singer of Tragically Hip, and he passed away a few years ago. And I got used to that group because I was like, wow, he's got great rhythm, he's got great vocal range, and not only that, he likes to talk like Bob Dylan, and probably does a lot better job than Bob Dylan. Though, of course, I would say I've seen Jacob Dylan, his son, Bob Dylan's son, in concert for the Wallflowers, and he was just awesome. So, you know, I'd say that probably Jacob and Gord were like, neck and neck, in my estimation. But I was introduced to Celine Dion, and I admire her music. I don't like her politics. That's obvious.
What is
And
her
what?
politics?
Well, I it's hard to say. She really does have issues with the Trudeau family. Not quite understanding why. It's a lot to do with how things are run, and right now the
What is she, a
current
Republican?
Trudeau. What's that?
Is she a Republican or a Democrat?
Well, I don't think she's either. She's
Oh,
she's mostly a Canadian. She was born in Canada, so she's
oh, okay.
mostly no. It has something to do with the Parliament, with Trudeau, who's our
Mm-hmm.
current prime minister. She has issues with him. There's a lot of things that she has arguments about, and I guess some Canadians are offended and just they don't want to hear her
Well,
talk about politics. They want her to sing,
Right.
and just stick with your singing and don't worry about the little
well,
stuff.
don't hate me. Well, don't hate me. I have a little something on Trudeau too because of what he did with them truckers.
Yes, and you would have every right to say it because I experienced it myself here too, and I could see what it was doing with the truckers, the economy, and everything. And I did not agree with how the people there in Ottawa, the
Yeah,
Parliament or whatever, how they were dealing with the issue. I don't think
yeah.
they understood the scope of what was happening and how a lot of people were suffering. Not just the families of the truckers, but the people in general. How could they
Mm-hmm.
buy products, and then things would go up in price, and you were like, why are you doing this to us? It's like you're just
Yep.
punishing us for you know holding a peaceful
Of
protest.
course,
So
we
yes,
don't
I
want to
didn't
talk
agree with that.
politics. You may get demonetized or something. I
I
just
don't care
remember
about
that.
that. No, I'm not monetized. My channel's not involved in monetary at all. So no, yeah, don't worry about that, Jay. It won't happen.
Okay.
It
So
won't happen because it doesn't exist.
I don't want you taken down. I like you.
Oh, thanks, brother. I love you too, man. Yeah, go ahead, Captain. You were gonna say something.
no, I was just gonna ask what's your pick?
Okay, my female artist. I have to say it's divided um, because there's so many, and I agreed with Trusty. There is so, and Daniel also. There's so many out there.
Yep.
I'll tell you my experience. I know that Suzanne doesn't like to hear her name sometimes, but my experience started with Cheryl Crow. And the
Yeah.
reason it does, and the reason it does is because I remembered when she sang back up with Michael Jackson, and her voice by far was much better than Michael, either live or on an album or in the studio. She just had that passion. Most singers have to be passionate, and she had that. Now she made a mistake with Lance Armstrong. That I won't deny. But it's a good thing he's gone because I don't appreciate what he did to her or anything. And she did go. She did survive. Thank God. She did survive breast cancer. So that's a huge thing to me that she
Yeah.
did. And the other thing too is my Suzanne survived her own form of cancer as well. Uh,
Okay.
and thank God. So I was like, I knew they could share a common that they're survivors. That to
Mm.
me means a whole lot. But what really solidified the deal for me about Crow was this song that really gets to me. It makes me cry every time, and it was a duet that Sting and Sheryl Crow did together. It's on YouTube, and it's called "Always on My Side." And it
Okay.
is absolutely one of the greatest duet songs. In fact, I make it number one in my honest opinion. It's the greatest duet song I've ever heard. And every time I hear it, it makes me cry. And what's so significant about the video, not the fact that they're sharing the same space. He's playing his bass, his huge bass violin, and she's playing piano. But
Mm.
what made, and they have a small mini orchestra and there were violins and so forth, violins playing and stuff. But what makes it so important is she was still suffering at that time from her cancer. And Sting
Mm.
gives her this huge kiss on the top of her forehead at the end of the video. They kept it. And initially, Sting said, "Is this just too much?" And Cheryl said, "No, no, just leave it in," because I did some research behind the scenes. So he
Mm.
kissed her on the forehead to say, "Hey, I'm here for you. I'm supporting you. We're all here for you." And that to me, man, that meant the world to me because I felt at that point that she's suffering, but she's willing to do this wonderful duet with him. And we already know he's a music genius and so forth. But just the fact that she was able to let her guard down and be honest, and the song itself is absolutely fantastic. It's called "Always on Your Side." That's the name of the song, and it came out about 16 years ago. I think it was like 2007 or so, or 2006. But it's a fantastic song. I'd recommend it to anybody who wants to check out a great duet. It's a wonderful duet, and it will bring tears to your eyes, especially when you knew what she was going through at that time. So, yeah, to me, Cheryl Crow is my female singer. But the other one that I really wanted to see, the other, believe it or not, is Aretha Franklin. I really
Mhm.
wanted to meet Aretha Franklin.
Yeah.
She's absolutely the best.
Yes.
And I'm saying also, I'd say probably tied with her would be Tina Turner, who we just lost. I was like, oh my God. I'm like, these two women were absolutely incredible. Uh, they could turn your heartstring every which way. Excuse me, and make you feel what they were feeling when they were singing.
Mm-hmm.
And they're gone, and I'm just so
Yep.
sad because, especially with Tina, because she was so. I mean, when she and Ike sang together, I was like, okay, I heard some of their early stuff, and I was like, okay, but Tina was just blowing Ike away. Ike got jealous. He was such a jealous bum, It's like, look, Tina is going to surpass you. She's going to kick your butt,
Yep.
musically, artistically. I mean, and she did. She did. She did more. I think that she and Aretha did more for women's and women artists, musical artists in general, than most other women combined. That's including Celine or even Cheryl Crow. So,
Didn't she keep his last name?
yeah, she kept it as Tina Turner. It was Ike and Tina Turner. Review was the band name, Ike and Tina Turner.
Can
Yeah,
I
she
ask a
kept his
question
name.
for the group?
What's that?
Can I ask a question from the group?
Yeah, go ahead.
What is everybody's favorite actor and actress of all time?
Of all time. Wow, that's a good question. Daniels, can we start with you? Hot topics. Daniel. Woohoo! Daniel. He might be away from the mic for a second. That's cool. We'll get back to you for sure, sir. Captain Fandom Nerd, go ahead.
Oh man. I can't think of anybody right now.
I know it's such a great question. You're awesome, Jay. You're gonna have me
Wow.
thinking for a while. Go ahead, Captain. What do you think?
Oh. Um.
Yeah, if you want to think fairly recent, you can do that as well. Fairly recent, if you want to think of that, that's acceptable as well.
Mm.
I can't think of anybody.
Really?
Oh, okay. That's
Okay.
fine.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jay. You asked the question. You answer it first, and I'll tell you mine.
My all-time favorite actor would have to be John Wayne,
There you go.
Great American,
Yes.
and my favorite female actor would be, because you can't say actress anymore. Um,
You can't. I'd say actress.
no, they hate being called actresses. They like actor.
Oh,
Um,
wow. Okay, PC. Here we go.
my favorite female actor would be Katharine Hepburn, because I just love Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. She was great in it.
Yeah, that was the one with Spencer Tracy, and
Yeah,
yes, and the other the
if
black
I couldn't
gentleman.
pick John Wayne, my second one would be Spencer Tracy.
Ah, yeah.
So what's yours,
Thomas
Mikey?
Potts said the same thing. No, Jay. John Wayne is my favorite.
Mine
Well,
too.
I just think that's funny. I think it's great that Thomas. Yeah, yeah, that's great. That's great. Oh, and Lucille Ball is his favorite actress. That's good to know, Thomas. Yeah, she's very good. You know
Yeah.
what? I've got two really interesting choices. I think for my favorite actor, and he's still around, I think it's got to be Clint Eastwood.
Oh, okay.
Clint Eastwood has never done a bad film in his life. I mean, his entire life.
Well,
I base it on performances I've seen from other male actors, including Harrison Ford, currently, who's still doing movies. And I look at it as overall performance, not only as a great director, which he is, but he's
exactly.
also a great actor.
All
He's
performance.
done fantastic films, and he even looked up to John Wayne when he was doing the Rawhide TV series. He looked up to John Wayne as one of his inspirations.
Yeah.
So I say for my money, it's Clint Eastwood. And
All
when he
right.
dies, I'm going to be crying for like 2 whole weeks when he
I know what
dies.
you're talking about.
Exactly 2 whole weeks. And I'm not even gonna, I'm not even gonna stop crying. I'm gonna be like bawling my ass off. That's how much I appreciate that, ma'am.
I know how you feel.
Oh, for sure. You know, greatest female actor. Oh man, that is such a great question. You know what? There are so many. I mean, I could tell you just off the top of my head. I could probably tell you five. I know I like a lot, but I only want to relegate it to one. Oh man, that's so hard. Hmm. Okay. Well, all right. I'll go with maybe three. And these were three that I grew up watching. So I'd say one. I'd say one would be Grace Kelly.
Oh yeah.
Another one would be Audrey Hepburn, and my third choice. hmm, You know, I think it'd have to be Julie Andrews. I love her singing. I love her acting, and she's still around as far as I know. So Julie Andrews, absolutely. Yeah, that'd be my three. I'd probably put Julie near the top. Probably have Audrey around the middle, and then Grace Kelly around the bottom, or around the top three to round it out.
Didn't
Those
she
be mine.
do? Didn't Grace Kelly do the movie Dial M for Murder?
I believe she did with what was his name? Uh, Cary Grant, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
Cary Grant. Yeah,
Love
that's it.
Cary Grant.
Oh yeah, there we go. Dial in for murder.
He would be my
Absolutely.
third. Is Cary Grant. I
Oh,
love
for
him,
sure.
and he did Operation Petticoat and
Yes.
Operation Tokyo, I think, or Tokyo something. It was a
So
great
yeah,
submarine movie.
yeah.
Yeah,
Thomas says
Lucille Ball
Lucille
was a
Ball
good
is
one.
his favorite actress. I was just
Yes,
reading his quick ones here.
you
He says
can't
I
go
love
wrong
that.
with Lucy.
Yeah, he says I love the I Love Lucy episode where they steal John Wayne's footprints from Hollywood.
Yes, yes,
Yes, yes.
they had to do 2 or 3 episodes with him.
Yes, they did. But and you know what was funny? What John, you know what was funny? What John Wayne said in one of those episodes. He says to Ricky, right, Ricky Ricardo. He says, "You're married to her." He goes, "Oh."
Yeah.
I don't know if that
No,
was an insult or a
my
compliment.
favorite, my favorite I Love Lucy episode is where she meets William Holden, and when he comes home with Ricky to meet his wife, when he lights up her nose starts melting, and he's getting the inkling that he knows her even more, and she explains what's going on, and that they had bumped into the each other at the Brown Derby, and he said, "That's it." And then
Oh
he
my
he
god.
tries to get her out of trouble, and she just kisses him, and she goes, "I kissed Bill Holden," and just drops dead.
Oh my god, that's so funny. Oh yes, I remember. I remember that well. You know what was funny about that episode that Thomas just reminded us of was that the fact that it was Lucy and oh man, you know I hate myself. Uh, Lucy and her
Ethel,
neighbor Ethel. Thank you.
Ethel,
Yeah, thank you. Lucy and Ethel are trying to lift the whole thing. Just the two of them. You know how
yes,
heavy that thing was? Oh
uh-huh.
my god. Captain, did you ever see that episode? I don't know.
Oh
Did you
yeah.
ever see it? Oh my god.
And
That was
then he finally
absolutely
came
insane.
in with like a dozen of them. He said, "I got enough for you for a month."
That's such a great episode. I'm glad that Thomas reminded us of that. Thank you, Thomas. I'm glad you're here too, buddy. You're always a great supporter of the channels and the streams. So we do appreciate your patronage. We really do. It's a great thing.
Very
Uh,
Absolutely.
good idea.
yes. And Daniel's hot topics. Daniel, have you come back yet to us? Daniel?
He must be still feeling horrible.
Oh, yeah, we might have lost him. Well, Daniel, if you do manage to come back, uh, you know, well, we're here for a few more minutes, and then I was going to go over and hope you guys join me. We're going to go over to Lost in Space stream that I believe Pop is doing right now. Uh, I think he started at 8, or he might be. No, I think he starts at 9. So we might be able to catch his stream. But
Okay.
he's got a he's going to be there with Gorillas and Resolute Germ, who was just here. I think he's still here with us, and they're going to do an episode from his hospital bed. So the episode's called "One of My Dogs Is Missing." Just watched some of it today, and I was like, "Wow, okay." So
Have you heard the joke about the difference between a dog and a cat?
maybe, but you could say it again if you want.
A dog will look up at you and say, "Oh, you pet me, you feed me, you put a roof over my head. You must be God." A cat will look up at you and say, "Oh, you pet me, you feed me, you put a roof over my head. I must be God." I love that joke.
Yeah, I think you said that one time before, and it still makes me laugh.
Oh,
Dog
I
and a
didn't
cat,
know. Okay.
similar to yours.
Yep.
They're walking down the street, and the dog catcher got down again. Uh, I hope not. Okay, there we go. So anyway, uh, so a dog and cat are walking down the street, and dog catcher catches him and puts him in the kennel. And the person comes by, it's a little girl, and she's looking for a pet of any kind. Dog, cat, doesn't matter. And
Right.
cats are gods. Of course they are, Thomas. We all know this. So anyway,
Yes.
she's looking, and she sees the puppy and a little kitten. The puppy and the kitten were the ones walking down the street, and they got captured. And then uh, what happens is she looks at the cat and says, "Oh, you're so darling. Oh, please, you look so great." But then the dog is barking its head off, and she looks over and says, "What do you want?" So she already made up her mind.
Don't like dogs. You don't like dogs.
Yeah, doggies.
I
No.
love dogs. I can't stand cats. One, I'm allergic to them, and two, they think they're own the place.
Oh, well, they do own the place, but you're allergic, so that's okay. It's no big deal. Most people are allergic to cats. It's just a fur thing, you know. It's a fur flying. I understand.
Like Robert Williams says, meow, big frickin' deal. That's
That's
how
okay,
he
brother. I still
identifies
love you.
the cat. Meow, big frickin' deal.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's funny. My wife told me a story. She was, she's a big cat lover. We both are. We love cats. We don't mind dogs. Dogs are cool because she's had a dog before. Has owned a dog before, so no big deal on dogs either. But she really does love cats. And she told me a story where uh, she knew, like, she was going to go out with this one guy, and he just immediately had an affinity to a dog and didn't really prefer cats at all. And she says, "Ah, okay." She never talked to that guy again. she she knew, like, right away, and I was like,
Yeah.
I had a similar situation, except the problem was is that in my two previous marriages, my first ex-wife, she was a dog lover. She loved golden retriever dogs. And I mean, she had like about 6 or 7 of them in her lifetime that I got to know her. And I had my two cats with her. One was Anika. She was a female British tabby, and then there was Tiger Man, who was a male British tabby, and she almost did a terrible thing to Anika, and we had to give her to someone else in the apartment complex. So then I got Tiger Man from a litter of kittens, and he was the runt. He was the one who was getting pushed out, and wasn't getting the mother's milk and stuff. And I said, "Oh, please, we got to get him." And she said, "Why?" And I said, "Well, look at him. He's not getting any milk from his mother. He's poor thing's gonna die. I refuse to let him die." And I mean,
Yeah.
at that point, I should just left her in the dust, my ex at that point, and taken, Tiger Man with me, and we should have moved out. I should have done that. But back then, I was just so young. I was naive. I was in my 20s. What was I supposed to do? We got married in the Catholic Church, for Christ's sake. Lots of mistakes I made. But anyway, the best thing I did was I got to keep Tiger Man until we divorced, and he went to a better home. So that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm just happy I got to keep him for as long as I did. He was a great cat, and I loved him. So that goes there.
I
So,
saw this TikTok on Facebook about this black cat. He's got his paw on this vase on the table, and
yeah.
he nudges it a little to the edge, and his owner says you can hear her clearly yelling at him, saying, "Don't, little bit more." I said, "Don't, little bit more. If you do, you're in trouble." Knocks it off, puts his paw down, and looks right at he's still looking at the camera and says, it's like he's saying, "Do your worst, witch." God.
Oh man. Yeah. Well, I got a little bit of an identity problem with my avatar. All this time, when I first started doing streams, I put my cat avatar, right? And I thought that was our older cat, Moon Pie. Well, it just goes to show these two, if they were running together, I could almost easily mistake one for the other. And
Yeah.
Suzanne lovingly reminded me, "Hey, honey, that's actually deja vu. That's a picture I took of her, and that's the picture that's on my avatar." And I said, "Whoops."
My first
I thought
dog,
that was Moon
Brandon,
Pie. Yeah, no, I thought it was the older Moon Pie, because she's like
right?
has 3 years. Yeah, she has like 3 years on Deja, but Deja looks so cute, and she's got those big eyes of
Yeah.
hers, and I'm like, yeah, and she's well fed now. I told you guys she came from 5 different owners who kept her for less than a week, and then didn't want her anymore, and then just brought her back to the Humane Society. And I said, "Are you serious?" It's like, yeah, she was very mistreated. So, now she has a great home, and we've had her now for almost 3 years, and we're so happy she's a part of our family. And you know, and you know what? The thing I don't like, and this is still true today. I don't know why, but people do not like black cats during Halloween time. I actually
I
love
don't
black
like black
cats.
cats at all. Period.
Yeah, right. You know what? The first cat I owned, I told you, her name was Princess, and she was black cat. She was a
Hmm.
black Persian. I loved Princess, but then my mother said she got carried off by a desert barn owl out there in Arizona. Got
Oh my
carried off
lord!
one day. Yeah, by an owl, a huge one. I
I
said,
didn't
well, the
know
damn
cats
owl
were
must
on
have
that
been.
menu.
I know, but the damn owl must have been. I keep thinking about it, and I said the damn owl must have been pretty big for to carry out Princess. Princess was a
Yeah.
was a nice sized kitty. She was about 1 or 2 years old, I think, at the time when it happened. So she was pretty good size, and I took care of her like I love my cats here, and loved her. And she just, yeah. My mother said, "Oh, she's gone." I'm like, "Oh man." What were you doing, Mom? You
My,
just let her out the door, and some damn huge desert barn owl comes out of a saguaro cactus and
Dang.
grabs her off. Oh man, just they do. They eat
my,
those.
my first dog, Brandy, she was totally black except a little white on her chest. And she
Yeah.
was laying down one day and we took a picture of her on our Polaroid camera. And it come out, all you can see is black. No, no form, no nothing, just black and red eyes. So I said, oh, throw that picture away.
Oh no. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
But she was the
Wow.
greatest dog. I only had 2 dogs in my entire life.
Yeah.
And I couldn't bring the dog to my building when we moved. And 10 years later, they allowed dogs in the building. I said, yeah, I'm pissed.
Yeah. My parents right now they own a bull mastiff. Her name is Birdie. She's a huge dog.
Oh, they are pretty.
Yes, they are. My mother loves her to death. My dad just will not go anywhere unless Birdie's with him. When they go walking and stuff. I worry about them though a lot because
Yeah,
those kind of huge dogs are liable. If they
yeah,
feel like they want to chase something, they're liable to get off the leash and drag whoever is
yeah.
walking them. And I mean, come on, my dad is almost 80 years old. In fact, he's
Squirrel,
gonna.
hang on for dear life.
Yeah, right. I mean, thank God my dad's not walking with a cane yet, but he doesn't
Yeah.
walk very well. And I was gonna say he's gonna turn 79 years this coming November, and I do not want to hear from my mother saying that Birdie dragged him somewhere, and you know, I don't think she can move much
Appreciate the
now.
time you have with your parents, man. I lost my dad when I was 18.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
And it's weird. I'm sort of looking not forward to it. I'm just literally wondering what's going to happen because my mother died 18 years later,
wow.
and that's this year will be 18 years. I wonder what else is going to happen. Lord, don't take my sister.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, yeah, yeah. Suzanne actually shares kind of your same situation. She lost her dad first. Oh no, I'm sorry. She lost her mother first. Um, when you were 7, babe, right? Yeah. When she turned 7, Suzanne lost her mother. Her mother's name was
mm,
Jeanette. Yeah, she was
mm,
Jeanette. She was French, and her father was Scottish. His name was John. Then when Suzanne turned 13, she actually went out on her own. She 12. Sorry, 12. She's correcting me. Don't worry about that, Jay. I don't mind her correcting me at all. I get some facts wrong. I'm
oh, I
tend
have
to
no
that.
problem with that. I don't judge people.
Yeah. No, yeah, but she left the family when she was 12, and then your dad died when you were 18, right? 6 years later. Yeah. So then
Mm,
her dad John died 6 years later when she turned 18. She only
mm,
found out because her sister had told her, or somebody in the family
oh,
had told her that he passed away. So she's lost both her parents. So my parents are her parents now, officially.
well, that's
And
good.
yes,
That's the way it should be. Hey, my dad, he had an abusive dad, and he walked out. My dad walked out of the house when he was 14 and started walking through from Memphis, Mississippi, Tennessee, Arkansas, and Louisiana when he was
yeah,
14, and he got a job as a bricklayer, helping with bricklaying, and became a bricklayer when he was 17. And
wow,
back in those days, kids worked.
yes,
And uh, when he married my mother, uh, his mother died just shortly after he was born, so he really didn't know his mother. And my mother's mother and daddy was like his mother and daddy.
wow.
Yeah.
That's hard. Um, and Thomas, I'm all of us. uh, agree, we were there for you. I understand. Um, that, yeah, that your dad died when you were 3 and you don't remember anything about
Yeah.
him. It's hard. My my wife
Hear about that.
had a hard time because, first of all, her mother Jeanette had a couple of miscarriages before. Or no,
Mm.
what they were abortions, weren't they? They were abortions. I take that back. And because she decided to, I guess, reluctantly have Suzanne, that's why I'm so blessed because she was born. And the one thing that most people don't know uh, is that, and only you guys will know, but if anybody else watches the stream, you might laugh. But the very day I was born, back in September of 1965, that's when my wife was so lovingly conceived, on the very day I was born.
Aw,
Yeah, it,
she
it,
was
it
meant to
proved to
be your
me,
wife.
yeah, it proved to me that with God all things are possible. And I knew that I
Oh,
was going to
without
be with
God,
her
we can do
someday.
nothing.
Yes, yes. And I mean, it took me, it took me 44 years to
Don't get
find
me
her.
started. I can do a sermon.
No, we don't have time for that, Jay. I wish I did. I'd listen to it. I would. No, but I felt so blessed when I found out, and we found out together. And I said, yes, with God, all things are possible. He brought us together. So, and Thomas, both of us and my wife, we all feel badly, that happened. But I'm sure that he's up there watching you. He is still there for you. He's an angel. It happens. They still will take care of you, even when they pass on and move to heaven. So be confident in that. Be confide in that your dad's there. You may not have known anything about him, but he is there for you right now. I'm sure you can feel him every once in a while. It's
His
a
love
great
will be
feeling.
with you forever.
Yeah, it's a great feeling. What about you, Captain? Are you blessed to still have your folks?
Yes, I am.
That's great. And they treat you well, and you learned a lot from them.
Yeah, I've always been closest with my mother.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
my mom is the queen, and my wife is
I
my
uh,
boss.
I had a weird thing about my dad.
Yeah.
Because I told you he grew up with an abusive father.
Yes.
Uh, my daddy never told me he loved me or hugged me, but I knew he loved me by the way he treated me. We always had food on the table. We had a roof over our head. The bills were paid, and he
And
gave me an education.
and I bet
And
Jay, I don't mean to interrupt for a sec, but I bet that they gave you fair but firm discipline. Is that correct?
yes,
That's wonderful. Yeah.
they. No, I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said. I was answering something else. What?
Oh, I was saying that I'm probably sure that Captain's parents did the same thing. They gave you fair but firm discipline. When you had to be
Oh
disciplined
yeah, my
firmly,
Oh
mother
you
yeah.
loved me
knew
a
it.
lot.
Yeah, you knew it.
I didn't know. I'll tell you this: the only whippings I can remember are 3 whippings, and that's it.
Hmm.
That's it. 3 whippings.
Because I was afraid of my mother and father. I was especially afraid of my father because he was almost full-blooded Indian, Native American
Oh,
Indian.
ooh, that's
You
that's
could tell
leather,
it from
man.
the redness in his face, and his sister was totally Indian. Might as well say because she was totally red-faced.
Wow.
But my father never told me he loved me or hugged me, but on the day that he went to the hospital to die, which I didn't know he was going to die,
Yeah.
he told me to come over there to him, and I did, and he hugged me for the longest time and kissed me on the cheek and said, "I love you." Something just told me something's wrong.
Yes.
And then
Wow.
later on, I'll try to make this quick.
Okay.
My dad in the middle of the afternoon, about 12 o'clock. He had ridden he was on Dallas for a year and a half. Sat down on his lawn chair under the carport in front of the front door, and he had his cup of coffee and cigarettes. He took his coffee,
you're sort of going robotic,
smoked a cigarette.
Jay. Oh no, I'm sorry, Jay. You're starting to go robotic yourself, just a little.
I'm
You're going
sorry.
in and
Let
out.
me check my settings.
Okay. I know I go robotic, and I'm like, I feel really bad when I go robotic because, I told two of the guys from Jeff Nerdy, Jeff and John. I think I already told you this, but I told, look, I have Wi-Fi, and it's supposed to be an advanced form of Wi-Fi, and they give it a name. They call it Valerie, and I had Steve before that, and Steve was supposed to be a lower form of Wi-Fi. So, if it's Virgin Mobile that's lying to us, then that's their fault. Because I was under the impression that I would have a better, I'd be able to talk better on streams and things like that.
Right.
But still, StreamYard has an issue with Wi-Fi. I don't know why. They just say they do. And I'm like, wow, okay. So, I mean, at least Jeff
Can
and
you hear
John
me better now?
and you, of course. Yes, I can. Absolutely. That's why I was trying to listen to you as you were, respond to me. Daniel's Hot Topics. My brother also. Are you still there, my friend? If you're not, I'm not going to drop you out, because if you do come back, then reset yourself. But I hope you're okay, my friend. Now, Captain, just tell us quickly, were your parents firm? I mean, when it came to discipline, firm but fair?
Firm but fair. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's the best description. Yeah, firm but fair. I can you recall any time, Captain, that you remembered a punishment? Can you remember one that was so distinct?
Not particularly, no.
Not really?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. Okay, well then I get, well, I mean, that you turned out well, right? So whatever kind of discipline they gave you worked.
Yeah.
Right? It worked. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Now there is, for me, there is only 5 times that I remember I was severely punished. But one time was because my mother knew what I did wrong, and it was her guilt trip. Mothers are famous for guilt trips. I don't know if you guys experienced it with your mothers, but I know for certain that I did with mine. And when I did something wrong, all I had to see was my mother's face, and with her guilt trip face staring right back at me. And I've accidentally used this towards Suzanne, and she's like, "Ooh, what did I do? Did I do something wrong?" It's like frozen in time. It's just one of those facial gestures you do not ever want to see from your mom. It's just, you don't want to see it. And I did one time, and I got severely punished later on, not just from Dad, but from my mom, and that was terrible. Um, the one time I'll just recall for my dad was I got really pissed off with my sister Elizabeth. She's 10 years younger than I am. And I got really pissed off with her. And I got so pissed off that she did something to me. And this was where we were living in Northeast Phoenix at the time. And we had one of those doors that leads to the garage. And we had built something over the garage. And eventually we turned the garage into a spare bedroom. But before we did that, this door had the glass frame. It had the glass that starts from the top. That's it's in a like a square kind of thing. The rest is the door itself with wooden door and everything. So it's glass and wood. And I practically destroyed that door to get to my sister to beat the shit out of her. Sorry, I just said S. Okay, sorry about that. But anyway, you know what I mean. So I was trying to get to her, and I'm busting the door and destroying it. my dad laid into me like no one's business. And he told me what I did was completely wrong. Not only the fact that my mother was upset because I wanted to hurt my sister, but also the fact that my dad saw the door and said, "You're going to pay for that. And you're going to have to work your way off to get that thing while I get it fixed. You're going to have to pay for this." So I knew I was, feeling really bad and really upset. And then my dad just said, "Look, I'm gonna have to beat you. There's no other choice. But I'm gonna be firm, but I'm not gonna hurt you badly enough because luckily for you, you didn't hurt your sister. If you hurt her in any way, I would have to kill you." That's what my dad said. And I was like, I understand, Dad. I understand completely. And I got severely punished that night, whipped a few times, but they were the most painful whips I ever felt. I never went near my sister again. I never got angry with her. I never got mad. I never wanted to hurt her, even though sometimes she was very mean to me. But yeah, after that experience, I never did it again. But then later on, she betrayed me and did things. So, but I won't go into that. But anyway, yeah, it was crazy, crazy day. And I was bleeding. To this day, I don't even know how I got through that, busting that door. Go ahead, Jay.
My mother told me a story years after my dad died, and we moved over to the Bond house where I live now.
Yeah.
She never told me until then, and I don't know why. Maybe it just took her a long time to do it. But like I was saying, he was sitting in front of our front door, and he was coughing. He was drinking coffee and smoking a cigarette.
Both Thomas.
Anyway, and three times he heard somebody call his name.
Yeah.
Thomas. That third time, he put down that cigarette and that cup of coffee, and he closed his eyes. And the Spirit of the Lord talked to him in his heart and said, "Get your affairs in order. I'm bringing you home in 7 days." He was on dialysis. He has no strength. He found the strength to run in the house, jump in the middle of the bedroom, and land in the bed, woke my mother up, and said, "Thelma, I'm going home to the Lord in 7 days. Get my affairs in order." She said, "Thomas, no, don't talk like that." Grabbed her by the hair and said, "Woman." And when my daddy called her woman, she knew he meant business and said, "Woman, get my affairs in order. I'm going home in 7 days." Let go of her, and she looked at the clock and saw it was 12:17 p.m.
Wow.
Well, day before he died, she took him to the hospital in Monroe. And when he took his last breath, she looked at the clock above him and it said 12:17.
Wow.
7 days later. Don't tell me there is no God.
There is God. Absolutely, there is a God. And there is. There's no doubt in my mind. Absolutely no doubt. And my wife is a minister. I told you that. She's a certified, God-blessed, universal life minister. She can do weddings. She can do funerals. If you want her to do your funeral, Jay, we'll go down there to Louisiana and let her do the funeral. She can do it.
Right.
She can call it. Okay?
I've been teaching Sunday
keep that
school
in
for
your
12
pocket.
years. Yeah, that'd be great.
Not too soon. That's what she said. Not too soon. You live for a while, Jay. But when you're ready to go, you two.
Now, don't jinx me. I'm hoping I'm going tonight.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. No, she will be there. Just put it in the back of your pocket. Know that she'll be available if you need. Call us. We'll come on down. Okay. So Thomas says, but who is the higher boss, your wife or your cat, Mikey? Hey.
The cat.
The cat? No, not just the cat. My wife is boss first.
The cat.
My wife is. She is. No, you're my guy. You and the cat are 1 and 1A. You're my number ones.
I'm not a boss.
Okay, she's not a boss, so then it is the cat.
That's
If
what
you're
they
saying
say.
the cat. That's
They
what
say
they
they're
say.
not the boss, but we know different.
Yeah, so Thomas says, so it's the cat then. You mean the cats. I have
Anybody
2
who's had a
cats here,
cat
buddy.
knows. Anybody
What's
who's
that,
had a
Captain?
cat knows the cat is the boss.
Right. And you're not bossy. That's it. I meant that you're my guy. You're my muse. Yeah, no. I reassured Suzanne. She's my one. She's my muse. She is my everything. But yeah, if it came down to cats,
Oh,
they're the boss of us. My 2 girls, yes, absolutely.
but it's
Yeah,
a true
nice,
fact. It's a
Thomas.
true fact. They want to say to everybody in front of us out in the public, "Oh, I'm not the boss," but we know they are.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Look at the house. It's all arranged in the way they want. Come on now. They're not the boss. Come on now.
It's all arranged for the cats.
Don't touch
Yeah.
that towel in the bathroom. That's just for decoration.
Yeah, or we have this towel that's down in the bathtub, and one of my cats jumps into it and just lays there. You don't dare go near her. Whether it's
Oh, Lord.
Vampire or Deja
Turn on the water. She'll leave.
Yeah, don't even dare. They look at me and they go, "Don't even dare, Daddy, to turn on the water in the sink." Like if I had to go to the bathroom and had to wash my hands, which I do all the time, like I never forget. And I go to wash my hands, and they're like, "Wait, don't turn on that water yet. No, no, no." Like, don't do that, because they think I'm gonna like splash it on them or something. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm trying to get to the hand towel so I can dry my hands. But it's not like I'm gonna throw a whole bunch of water right on top of you where you're laying on your own towel in the bathtub. I wouldn't do
Give
that
me
to
a
my
pail.
girls.
I'll fill it up with water and splash them on it. Just
Oh,
dump the whole thing on them.
oh, Jay.
Oh, they
Jay.
act like they own the place.
Well, they
They do.
do. They do.
Not with
Cats are
me.
meant to do that.
We got a cat here at the Bond House,
Yeah.
and every time it looks at me, I look at it. You know how they love to stare. And stare longer with that jerk, and he just hisses at me. How dare you look at me?
Well, because he knows you're a dog lover.
He knows I
Cats
want to
have-
take it to the.
Cats have
He
an
knows.
innate.
He
Yeah,
knows I
sorry.
want to take that cat to the Chinese restaurant.
No. He just has a. Come on, Jay. You wouldn't do that. No. Cats have that innate sense, right? It's like a sixth sense. They know. Like, for example, Suzanne told me the story of, another story about a cat that she had, and it was her friend Scotty who came over, and of course, I don't know. Did you say Scotty was allergic to cats, or did you know at that time? Yeah, that he's allergic to cats, but he still decided to come by, her friend, to come by and visit Suzanne. And the cats were trying to, the cats kind of knew, I guess, right? They didn't come near him. Is that true? Yeah. Oh, they did? Oh. Yeah,
They
but
got
of
good
course he
sense,
was,
senses.
they
Yeah.
liked him. Well, yeah, they liked him, but the thing is, he was allergic. But he still decided to make the effort and come by and visit my friends. So, I mean, my wife. When they were still friends. Before we got married. So.
No, I
And
don't hate
even
cats. I'm
he's
just allergic to them.
Well, don't feel bad about being allergic to cats. As long as you can still like them.
I
for
just
what they
love
are.
kidding about cats.
I know you were. It's cool. That's fine. What about you, Captain? I'm gonna finish up here pretty soon, but I wanted to hear your view quickly on what you think about the cats or dogs or whichever you prefer.
Prefer dogs, but I like both.
Okay, and you've been associated with dogs and cats throughout most of your life, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. I think we all have. I'm pretty sure Daniel's Hot Topics has been too. He has a beautiful dog. I don't know if you guys have seen him yet. Oh, maybe you have in previous streams. But he has a dog named Coco, and he is such a darling dog. He really is. And he's Daniel's lifeline. He's really a nice. He's like a combination between a Shih Tzu and a mutt. He's very cute. So or a very handsome dog. So Daniels, if you're still listening, yes, we love Coco. Coco's cool. Also, our friend, right, Jay Mercer, and Captain knows Mercer, right? Yeah, he has Nermal. Yeah. Nermal is the cutest darn cat next to my cats that I've ever seen. And I showed Suzanne Nermal, and she's
right, Nermal.
She's so cute. And I'm like, yep, but our cats are cuter, babe.
I like Nermal because he's millions of miles away.
Than Nermal. Yes, by a lot more than Nermal, but Nermal is just adorable.
Yeah, Nermal's okay.
Yeah, she's cool. She's great. Alrighty. Well, I think with that, we're going to go ahead and shut down the stream for now because I know some of us want to catch Pop over in his Lost in Space stream if it's still running, or I think it was supposed to start at 9 o'clock my time because I know it's just after 8:30 right now. Let me look at my watch, my clock on the computer. Yeah, it's about 8:45. So this is a good time to stop. But before we do, I want to go ahead and talk to both Jay and Captain here to see what they got coming up in the future. What do you got coming up, Jay?
I have a YouTube channel just to watch videos. I don't stream because I don't know how to stream. So one day I'll have to find somebody that streams that would like to stream something that I like to stream about and talk about it.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, I love your presence because it's great. You have such wonderful knowledge, such wonderful compassion for life in general, and you're just amazing. What?
Keep up buttering me up. I love it.
And you're smart, and you're pretty smart at Trek too. You know,
not as smart as John.
I told Zoe in this last stream. You might have watched it. Well, yeah, you were there. Where we did Wrath of Khan, or not Wrath of Khan. That was ours, but where we did the whales. No.
The whales. The whales.
Yes. Yeah. The Star Trek 4, and I told Zoe, I said, this stream and the previous one I had with you, Jay, and T. Dowd, and Professor and Naomi, those two streams, I cannot, to this day, I still laugh. I can't stop laughing. They were absolutely the best streams I've ever experienced with people, and that's saying something. And I just thought it was the funniest. Those are the funniest two streams to this day that I still enjoy.
They're fun people to play with. Yep.
Yeah, and then of course my own streams because we were so passionate. We were talking about indie movies and we were talking about James Bond. I still think that's a great one too. I love the James Bond franchise one we did together. That was fantastic.
I don't want you to feel bad.
Yeah.
During the James Bond stream.
Sure.
My aid worker left a little early, and she gave me a message on Facebook Messenger and said, "I'm letting you know this is my last day. If you want to know, you can ask the office." Well, I called the office, and she said, "We were talking about pussies." I said, "What?"
Oh boy.
And she said, "Yeah," and I had to explain. We were talking about James Bond films. She got so uncomfortable when we were talking about that. And I said, "Oh, my Lord. Maybe we shouldn't talk about that in front of a teenager, I guess." Lord.
I guess not. Wow. Yeah, and Thomas here is saying Salty Daniel will pray 5 is ignoring everyone. Okay. Well, I know Pop doesn't, so.
He may have fell asleep. I've passed out during the stream.
Well,
I literally did. I passed out and I didn't come to for 2 hours. And after 2 hours, I woke up from being passed out, and everybody was gone. I said, "Shoot, what happened?"
Oops. Where am I?
Yeah.
Is that why you say where was I and what and
Uh huh.
what's happening? Oh
Uh
my
huh.
gosh. That's what it came from? Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh
Uh
man. I know when you say it, it
huh.
makes me kind of giggle, but then I'm like, wow, okay, that's what happened. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay.
So it
Well, you're
happens.
still allowed to say it. You made it. You patented it.
Yeah.
And I love when you say it. It's just wonderful. Captain Fandom Nerd, what's your future
Yes,
plans? Yes, sir. What's your
I
future plans?
don't currently have any plans right now on my channel. Things are just kind of dormant right now. I'm taking a break. But thank you
Okay.
for streaming and having me on.
You're
Yes.
always a pleasure, Captain. You're always welcome. And also, Daniel's Hot Topics, if you're still there, my friend, or if not, you are always welcome. And Jay, of course, you're always welcome. You're my brother down there in the South. I love you.
Thank you.
You know that.
You're my brother up there.
Oh, thank you. It's always nice to know that I was living down in Arizona and my wonderful, beautiful wife, yeah, was up north and I found her. And we'll just do this real quick. If Daniel fell asleep, that's definitely a bird of prey 5 thing to do. Okay. I guess that's true, but it can happen. Jay even said it happened to him, and I
Yep.
know, yeah, and I know that there's at least 1 or 2 streams where I just went, "Bleh," and I just,
Yep.
I turned everybody off, and it is either I was, eating something. I think it was just having dinner or something, or I was just kind of like, whatever, and just kind of stayed out of the conversation. And my
Mhm.
wife finished it with her, and she says, "I'm never bossy. We are equal." Mwah. Okay. So then that means the cats. That means Thomas Potts was right. Our baby cats, our daughters, Moon Pie and Deja Vu, are the bosses, whether they're reluctant to or not. Hey, Daniel, welcome back. I was
Hi.
hoping I'd get to you before we left. We're getting ready to shut down here pretty soon. I
Oh,
wanted to
okay.
ask you uh, real quick, what your have you always been a dog person with Coco and you
Yeah,
think you'll be
yeah.
more?
I'm well in the '90s. Yeah, I got one dog, but mostly I had cats. I had cats. They were hanging out outside. Um, but if you live in the country and you keep cats outside, they usually end up coyote bait.
Oh Lord.
Yeah,
Yes,
all my cats were
yes,
picked
they
off
do.
by coyotes because they go out hunting in the field and then they never come back.
Mm.
So in
Yeah,
2005 we
that's
decided to
unfortunate. Yeah,
yeah. So in 2005 we decided to get a Shih Tzu. We got we got Kiko, and he was
Kiko.
a wonderful companion for the past 15 years. We
Wow.
got him
Right.
in May 20th, 2005, and he passed away on April 28th, 2021.
Well, yeah, I was sorry to hear that.
It was rough.
It very rough.
And
Which I
Coco
can
misses
understand why you say you felt terrible. I
yeah,
totally
Coco
understood.
misses his big brother.
Yes, he does. But he's a wonderful dog. I know they've seen your Coco. He's wonderful.
Hmm.
He's a great doggy, and he's there for you. So that's a great thing. I mean, I still got my cats, and
Hmm.
I'll never get rid of them ever. They're beautiful to me, and I love them, and I know my wife loves them. Do you still have pets of your own, Captain? We'll finish up real quick, but I just wanted to say if you have a cat of your own or dog of your own,
No, I don't currently. I
well, you
don't.
should. Well, you should,
I'm
Captain.
considering it. I'm considering it.
That's good. Now, make sure that your choice. Make sure that you take everything into consideration with your choice because it is one of the hardest choices to make as a human being is to choose your lifetime companion
Oh,
on
yeah.
4 legs. It really is. Yeah, it's an absolute hardest choice to make. One of those harder choices. Yeah, it's difficult. I agree. But yeah, that's good because that's good to know. Daniels, let me ask you one last time. Also, what is your future plans? Anything you got going down?
Uh,
Anything going
don't
on?
have any at the moment.
Okay, but I consider you the great brother lurker, because I know
Hmm.
you come in and you give your views and input, and it's great. And like Jay does, like I do, like Captain does, Thomas, of course, Resolute Germ, and of course LDG. Wonderful gentlemen, all of you are, and of course my lovely wife, who came and contributed. I love you,
He gone.
babe. So
So
Thank you again for having this stream.
yes.
Oh, you want to see Kiko? This was my Kiko. Wait,
Chico, yeah,
but
okay. Hold on a sec.
do you see him?
Oh,
Oh,
Let's see. I just put him in. Hold on. Oh, there he is. Oh,
that's Marlon.
yeah, he is handsome
This
and
was summer of
smiling. Yes.
2015.
Oh, cool. So that's okay. Cool. That's your picture of him. Yeah. Is that a recent one? Is that a recent picture?
No, that was that was summer of 2015. He was 10
Okay.
years old.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, that's a
He was
beautiful
a
picture
really
of him.
great, really beautiful
Yeah.
companion.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you showing him us. Seriously. Oh yes. Good night, Thomas. It's good to see you again. Thank you so much for coming by. And of course, I almost forgot Lemon Pie, or Lemon Man Pie, as I like to call him. I appreciate him for coming by as well. And of course, like I said, Rexverse, our new friend Rexverse Entertainment Incorporated, my buddy Trusty Ape, and yeah, I think I've covered everybody. And again, thank you so much, gentlemen, for
Mm-hmm.
attending my stream. My lovely wife for helping us out today too. Thank you so much, Suzanne. I love you. Our cats, our dogs, everywhere that we care about. And it was a fun stream because I just wanted to be random and everything worked out perfect. So I think it was great. And don't forget again, if you come across it, Pop Culture Curators link is in the chat there.
Yeah.
When you come across it, make sure you click on it. Give whatever you can afford, anything from a penny to whatever is worthy of the amount that you're able to afford to give to Pop so we can get him out of California completely, get him moved to Arizona, to Tucson, where Jedi Bill and Nina, our friends, are there, and to get him some better medical attention so that he can get better very soon. We're praying for him. We love you, Pop. And with that, I love all you guys. Take care of my extended family and everyone I know on YouTube. And we'll talk again in the next stream. It might be in a couple weeks, but we'll talk again for sure. Goodbye, everyone, and God bless.
Bye.
Bye.